join me in eternity.
A giant tail above the waves. Is it a sea monster?
Do you like fairy tales? Who deserves to live happily ever after? Be good, and you will have a loving home. Be kind, and you will be shown kindness. Be gracious, and you will find true love.
It's all your fault!
I want my
I was just having some fun.
Your mother died because of you!
What a bunch of drivel. Break those chains! Embrace your rightful power!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Wardroom Games present North East Underdog Tournament. And it's a really nice evening to be kicking off things with the playoffs tonight, not the round robin stages, because we've already found the top four teams that are going to be proceeding to the next stage. Tonight, we're going to be seeing Tartarus and Team Dads and Sons duking it out in the best of three upper brackets. And the loser will be going to the lower brackets, of course, and the winner will be going to the semifinals. Anyways, on to the casting desk. It's me, Ray, and on to alongside me, it's obviously the woman you're seeing on the ads herself, Miss Jenny, or Jenny right now because the Miss got removed. So, Jenny, nice to have you here tonight.
Thank you so much, Ray. The first match is going to be a banger match already. It's
Definitely, yeah.
DNS versus Tartarus, and so far, Tartarus haven't lost a single match, right? But
Yeah,
DNS so far, there's been ups and downs, like a colorful journey, right? But for
yeah.
Tartarus, I mean, what happened? How did this team get so OP?
I mean, honestly, I've been calling them the Infinity Gauntlet for a reason because I feel like they just collected the best from every place and made it a team together. Because, I mean, you have Kyle who showed himself that, I mean, I called him the gold standard previous year and he's still proving himself why. And then you have Kimi, one of the best roamers who goes toe to toe against Apex without the international experience, by the way. And obviously, there's Joseph, one of the most aggressive junglers in the India region. And right now, he's climbing might become the best soon. And we have Eden with his consistent performance. And one of the EXP laners that comes in with a lot of surprises, 27. He made the Grog EXP debut in a lot of tournaments, and he's been showing unique, creative ways to dominate his lane as well as provide in team fights. So overall, it's basically a full-on powerhouse of a combination. And it's actually, I mean, usually when you put really good things together, it doesn't really come out great, but they have been able to do so. And I think a lot of these teams, they're still struggling to find that weakness and trying to counter out Tartarus. And it might be a little bit too late because they're almost really close to winning this tournament because just like you mentioned, 0 losses so far. But anyways, we're diving straight into the draft.
Definitely. Let's go into the draft. But yeah, before that, I'd like to say once again, looks like Kronos did a really good job picking up the best players for each and every role and bringing them all
Yeah.
together, making this team so ready for almost every tournament that's going on in India right now. I think I'm following I'm following another tournament, and even in that one,
born by thy
Tartarus
wish,
is on the
guided
leaderboard
by
on the
lantern's
first
light.
position, the first
Yeah.
ranking.
My
So
mission
definitely,
is to
I
protect
think
lives.
given the table of the ranks, DNS is
Always on
definitely
the
under
way.
pressure. So
Yeah.
if I ask you to make a quick prediction, is it gonna be a clean sweep, or do you think we're gonna be able to see
I didn't cure
some
the
fights?
pain. I
I
harness
think
it.
it can be a clean sweep unless Tartarus tries to let loose into the second game because they're really well aware that this game is kind of secure. And that's the kind of that might just be their weakness, which most of the teams haven't figured out. It's their ego,
Fight!
right?
Fight
They
for the
know they're the
ultimate
best.
answer.
They know they're the best and they can prove it. But I think that's where the kind of their weakness is, and the other teams need to find out soon. Team Dads and Sons, though, they have been just like I said, it's been an up and down. But obviously, we don't need to focus on their downs, and
Sir,
neither should
what's your
they. They
command?
need to know what's on their up and need to focus on it to make sure they give their best performance because they just gave away the Fanny to Joseph, which is really interesting to say the least.
Maybe they're planning something. Maybe they do have some counters prepared to tackle that Fanny. We will see. Meanwhile, Hilda's been banned as well as Matilda and Sushin, and I'm really wondering what kind of answer they're going to be giving out to that Fanny so far. Batang in the EXP and Selena. What do you have to say about that, Ray?
I mean, in theory, Selena does not really work, right? Because Fanny will just keep on dashing around. You're not going to be able to hit. I mean, Selena herself is a hit or miss. So picking up against the Fanny, it's already a really risky play that IGN, last night, IGN did the same and they kind of lost that match because their mid laner was just not able to provide any utility. So because of that, I think it's still a risky play. But just like I said, for Tartarus, it's an ego play. And I think Team DNS is trying to match it. Like, look, we don't really care about your Fanny. We're going to be picking up a hero that doesn't really counter it. And we're still going to be able to probably win it out. That's a statement they're making. But at the same time, look at that. They just gave out the Harry to Kyle as well. I feel like Team DNS, I don't know, I might be think they're a little too confident tonight.
Yeah. Little too confident or a little too overconfident. We'll see that very soon. But definitely, Abyssal Arrow is not gonna help in front of Fanny. Yeah. When it comes to Selena, Abyssal Arrow, that's what you're counting at, honestly, right? You won't see a lot of AOE or damage unless you really get that Abyssal Arrow right on point. So for Fanny, not yet. They have a Joy in their arsenal. Joy versus Fanny Ray. What's the situation here?
I mean, Fanny will be winning it out 100% of the time for a simple reason. Joy has 4 dashes. After she uses it out, she unlocks her ultimate. But what about it? After that, can she really chase Fanny? No, the answer is no. But it's not going to be mattering. What they're both looking for is to go for the backlines. Joy, depending on the mid laner, would be a really good pick if she can dive into the back lane and clear out. But at the same time, she can't really do anything much about the Fanny. And about the retribution battles, I do think even Joy has a little bit difficulty. Suyo would have been better, but it's in the tournament so far, it has been shown that against Tartarus, the Suyo doesn't really work much because they can already counter it. So I think that's the reason they're going for the Joy, which is something that is not often seen, but it's still a good pick nonetheless.
We will see. Well, so far, I still haven't seen a Fanny counter, and they did ban away the Cho as well as the Faramis. Also, Moscow. They're trying to ban out the options for DNS to tackle the Fanny, but with an Edith, so far Edith, I'm not sure how far will Edith be useful against the Fanny. So I'm yet to see a counter for Fanny, and right now I don't feel like they have it prepared.
Yeah, definitely, right? Edith is just most probably just picked up. So if in case there's a Phobius coming into the XP lane, because Kim is most likely going to go for that Gatot EXP unless they change their mind. Sorry, Gatot Room, unless they change their mind. I think they just want to win out the EXP advantage. So Edith not going to be that much of an aid unless we say something new tonight, or there's a misplay from the hands of Joseph, because he does like to go very aggressive, which does get him punished a few times. But it doesn't really matter as long as Kyle gets farmed up. That's how Team Tartarus really likes to play around. They really give Kyle a lot of space to farm up, and looks like it's going to be Gatot EXP. And it's really interesting. Eden, I think this is the first time he's going for a Vexana. Usually he just likes to go for the control mages, like the Novaria or maybe the Eve. Tonight he's going for a very classic pick, the Vexana.
Alright. If this is the same Kyle that both of us were in the LAN, right? Is this the same Kyle?
Yep, it's the same. The one
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, Kyle.
It's been a while.
And he has improved.
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, he has improved a lot, and he's definitely the gold standard of India still. Because, it's not about glazing. He has been proving it again and again. This man is just unstoppable. There's no stopping him. He showed it against ABM into the LAN tournament, and right now he's showing it against every other team. And I think it's just not Kyle, it's the whole team itself. Tartarus just gives him so much space. The other teams, they're trying to always tackle him, but they just cannot, because Kyle is too far away. He's farming on the far lane. They can't really do anything about it because Eden, Joseph is keeping them busy, and that's the beauty of Tartarus so far, and nobody's able to destroy it. But on the other hand, that's really interesting. A Bruno coming in, I think it's only the second or third time that's been picked in this tournament so far, so a little doubtful about it. No buffs in the recent patch as well, so interesting to say the least, because their draft looks a little unorthodox to say the least. Yeah, something that's not that.
Something's missing. If that's what you mean. Yeah, something's definitely missing. And I think the missing thing is a counter for Fanny, because we were really waiting to see if they can figure it out. And yeah, when I saw Kyle playing in the LAN, I was like, dude, this guy is so good. His positioning, his map sense, his map presence, everything is so good. He just needed some direction and a really good team. And I think he finally has that, and he's definitely going to shine. And I'm really excited to see this game. Like, it's been a while seeing him play. This is going to be a banger match. It's going to be Tartarus versus DNS in the draft. So far, Ray is definitely disappointed. You look disappointed with DNS's draft. But yeah, Tartarus draft, so on point. And we're going to have to see, by the way, we are already on the lands of Zohunt. This is me, Jenny. Alongside me, I have Ray to be casting with me today on a casting desk. Anyways, well, Ray, what do you say? I think first match, first point goes to Tartarus.
Yeah, and like because main thing they don't really have anything to stop the snowball. But look at that, Joseph already went in, so hungry.
Yeah, with I forgot, but they might just be able to. They're trying to chase it down, but no, not yet. Meanwhile, 27 comes from the backup to get first like both, but not going back. And like I said, there will be no first blood as of right now.
Yeah, both of them playing a little passive. They are really well aware, but look at already. Joseph might be caught here. No energy.
Yo, with our shatter, but Joseph was just too fast for that. Got stuck 27 up there, but just not enough damage to take him down right now. This guy is thinking about hold on, the whole team up there. The first blood goes to the side of DNS. Wait, hold on. I really thought it was gonna be Tartarus securing the first blood.
You know, there's something about Tartarus in this tournament. They don't get the first blood. They just get the win. So, yeah. Most of the time it's Kimi who dies first. So tonight it's not Kimi, it's 37. So maybe it's a bad omen. Maybe Kimi should have been the first blood. Well, he shouldn't have used the flicker. Maybe.
Well, tonight it's gonna be 27 for a change. Anyways, Kimi be like, alright, my first blood streak ends maybe.
Yeah, getting first blood streak ends, but right now the turtle is up. One kill onto the hands of Team Dads and Sons, and it went to Are, who's actually onto the Rome Badang. Not really the best optimal, I would say, especially after the dump, but let's see how it works out. Everybody's getting into the positioning. Not level 4 for Eden, so they don't really have that eternal guard. We have to see how it works out. 27 wants to go in. Joseph looking for an angle.
Yeah. They're trying to give vision to each other and trying to make their resources where they out, and meanwhile the Turtle comes in. Kimmy, just not yet. Just not yet. He's gonna wait. He's gonna make them use their resources up 27 and AOG comes in. And up to the Turtle has to be played by Zohunt, and they will also be taking away another blood. I suppose Insane coming for a chase up to Eden, but that might be just another mistake. But Insane, very close. Up to Eden, still chasing him down. Will he be able to? And there you go, Insane. Will he be able to escape this one? Zohunt, not gonna let him go away, I suppose. But hold on, Insane, what? What a runner, I should say. That escape. Wait, hold on. Are you gonna call it a skill gap for Zohunt?
And no, it was energy gap. He did not have enough energy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it can be skill gap. He didn't say anything.
Okay.
Yeah, could be.
You said skill gap.
No, we can discuss that later. But I mean, Insane is obviously, undoubtedly, still one of the top junglers of India. I mean, Kronos calls him the best, so there's a reason for him. And it's just that, okay, Insane probably wants to make a play into the bottom lane.
With the Earthshatter, Kimi might be able to. Okay, finally goes down. Meanwhile, Paul's gonna dish out some damage, but he's gonna have to run away, otherwise he will be in trouble. And there you go, Thompson, Mark's spot, takes it down, but Self-will kill. And he's been taken down. Marks the spot. He definitely, I don't know if it was worth it, honestly.
Yeah. And it's actually one of the reasons why he really likes to play the sniping heroes. But anyways, Joseph went in on the top lane. Doesn't really get anyone. And just gonna go back. So yeah, I feel like that was just for, I don't know, possibly, but still, X marks the spot, has been playing Granger and Moskov mainly in the tournament, so it's actually a really change to see him play the Bruno. But honestly, the options were also banned out, so it makes sense. But still, a really interesting matchup, and he's able to win it out. I am not really sure if he's aware there's Joseph into the bush, but Turtle gonna be spawning in. Let's see what Joseph's doing is. Into the top
Meanwhile,
lane
in the top lane, it's like a cold war going on in almost all the lanes. But yeah, Mark's the spot. He might be in trouble because Zohunt is just waiting for a kill up there. Look into the turtle. Meanwhile, to the bottom lane, he's alone. He's definitely picking up the kill. Meanwhile, in the top lane, the turtle is gonna go uncontested for the side of DNS. The priorities, Ray.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? They're trying to make sure X marks the spot. Getting the 2 kills doesn't really gain the advantage, and Kyle still has a gap. And Luther probably wants to go in.
Okay, let's control, I suppose, but he doesn't have the control right now, so he's gonna have to go back. No kill for Zosev. Alright, next kill over Zosev. Surprise, surprise.
I mean, Are might be actually the next best roamer after Kimi, and he's actually showing it why, especially with the pick-off hero. Today, the Padang is really good, but Kimi.
The Earth Shatter and the Abyssal Arrow, but Kimi manages to escape with a flicker.
And the blue buff is also gone. Insane. Really making good use of the...
Insane.
He's making good use of the fact that his team was able to give him a little upper hand and he got the purple buff. So Joseph will face difficulty for the next 2 minutes until the next purple buff spawns in for him, unless he wants to go in for the invasion, which I think highly not likely. But overall, if Doom gets another kill, he's going to be on a killing spree, and that just means that he's going to be the main onto the hit list for Team Tartarus, because they're going to be looking for that bounty quite soon. But it's only been 6 minutes, 3 to 5 to go. Joseph looking for something into the mid lane.
Yeah, with the steel cables. He comes in with the steel cables, he goes back with the steel cables, and nothing else. Right now, I feel like... Oh, hold on. Zosa versus Kronos. Oh, sorry. Zosa versus Insane. Did I just say Kronos? Am I missing him?
You might be. You might be, definitely.
Well...
I mean, he's in MPL Latam right now, so good for him, right? He worked hard. But anyways,
Yeah.
let's not forget, into the game. It's the first match between Tartarus and DNS. And DNS, so far, they have had... they're showing quite a lot of dominance over Team DNS. Despite not having a concrete counter for Fanny, they do make it up with all the stuns. But let's just see, 27 goes in. Oh,
And Eden skips the flicker. Meanwhile, the AOG pops in. They will be able to take down Cody Cutie. And then out right after that, hold on, they're not giving up. Timmy, he's trying to escape. Insane goes straight in for the kill. He will definitely be able to take him down as well as the double kill, but he doesn't look like wanting to chase Eden up there. But meanwhile, he will be taking up a double kill instead on Kyle. Zosef gonna run away with the cables, but Array is not giving up. He's coming straight in for Zosef. Will he be able to take the purple bomb? I don't think so. Zosef goes down as well. Do you really need a Fanny counter when you have already the Badown? I really like, no, I can counter Joseph and his Fanny with a Badown Ray. What do you have to say about that?
I mean, it's ironic, isn't it? Fanny needs the walls, and Badang, it's basically a wall, yet somehow Joseph is not able to do so. And I think a lot of the things comes into, like, I mean, Array is doing a really phenomenal job in the Badang, and he's looking for more angles to go in for. But so far, the thing that I'd like to mention is the fact that Harith, he really needs the Zaman Force to dish out the damage, and I think that's the weakness into this game that Team DNS is really able to capitalize. Anytime they're able to bait out Kyle's Zaman Force, they just go in, and oh, look at that, fist crack.
With the fist crack and the killing spree for Spot, they're going to be able to chase down more of Queen 7 very low, but he will be able to escape. As of right now, Ari comes in, he'll be able to take down the Look at that! What a counter-attack!
Yeah, and that's what I said. Team Tartarus, they just wait for you to have the bounty up, and that's when they take you down. They were just waiting for Arya to get the third kill, and they got it. Right now they have the bounty, but they're still lacking behind in 3,000 gold. Joseph barely scrapes it off, goes back to the base, but the score is 5-10. 4,000 gold lead into the hands of DNS. They have really done a great job tonight. Usually they kind of suffer into that early game, try to make it up into the mid game, but tonight looks like they have that early game into their grasp. So far Joseph has been kind of disabled, and if they're able to do so, I think they'll be able to disable Kyle as well. A lot of poking into the purple buff. They probably want to invade it. Let's see.
Looks like it's gonna be in trouble. The team free double kill. For Insane, taking more. There are only 2 men left from the side of Tartarus. Joseph comes in. Will he be able to enough damage to take one of them down right now? He's gonna have to go back and try and defend, which won't be possible either. Comes in, but goes back. See, just the Lord popping up in just a few seconds, and I feel like it might be an uncontested Lord.
Yeah, definitely, but also the new patch notes. The new Lord is a lot weaker. It does have the charge attack, but you can clear it out really fast if Kyle doesn't really get targeted. So far though, I mean, we have to mention one thing though. Fine onto the Selena, I think the reason it's picked because it worked really well against was it Eliminators or IGN? I forgot, but he picked it up against another Fanny and it worked really well. So I mean, I was doubting him against Joseph because Joseph has played against Selena before, and it didn't really bother him. But this time around, I mean, not to take the spotlight away from Pokipine, but Array is mostly the one who's actually pushing them into a corner where Pokipine is able to stun them really comfortably, because inside the walls, it's really easy to hit anyone, right? So because of that, they're really able to create that synergy. And so far, they're able to punish Kyle as well, because Kyle cannot dish out the damage when there's the wall. If he gets inside, he's stuck already there. And if he's outside the wall, Bruno's ultimate is bouncing from everyone, dishing out damage. And because of that, they're really punishing the gang potential of Team Tartarus so far. And if they're able to do so, I think Team Tartarus might be losing the game number 1.
Definitely, I totally agree with you. could be the Tartarus might be losing this one. Looking from what DNS is doing the map the whole time, completely dominating. Again, Abyssal Arrow comes in, but misses this time. Wait, hold on, Ari comes in front of you. She comes in, and that was a little bit more. And Zohunt goes in and takes Marcus Moss down. This is gonna be an impact kill, but meanwhile comes in another Abyssal Arrow and takes 27 down. Corey Cutie gonna have to go back. The Lord has been taken care of, and right now the inhibitors are safe as well. Pretty good defense. Well, there's still time, Ray.
Yeah, definitely. And Joseph very skipped it off, but still, coming back to the point is that in this patch, games have been extended quite long because the Evolved Lord doesn't come at 12 minutes anymore. It comes at 18 minutes only. And Fine might be in trouble.
With the long run, it takes it down. Meanwhile, Timmy won't be able to escape out of the kill. Maybe he will get the kill. Meanwhile, Insane trying to chase down Eden, and he's definitely going to be able to take him down, I guess. But AOG comes in and saves the day for Eden. Meanwhile, could be a triple kill. But Immortal Lady pops in again. Insane will have to go back. So far, one casualty. Kyle is down, and there's no Lord. They won't be able to take the inhibitor down. They won't be able to push. Zohunt do have some time to clear out some lanes, some minions, but meanwhile, mid lane, they are trying to pressurize, but won't be able to take that turret down.
Yeah, and this match is kind of, I feel like Team Tartarus, they kind of played into the not overconfident, but a little confident end. They picked up the Harith, I do understand, but they did not really consider the Badang into the picture, because I think they were also thinking it was going to be Corey Cutie who's probably going to go with the Badang EXP, but it's actually less likely because Corey Cutie likes to play Chunky Boys, and that's what Edith is. So I think they should have predicted it and should have known the fact that Harith is going to be stuck inside the Badang's walls because he's a roamer right now. And because of that, Kyle is just having a lot of trouble because Harith is not a marksman. He needs to dash around to deal damage, and he's not able to do so. There's Earth Shadow, there's Badang's walls, there's stuns coming in, so they're just having a difficulty. But Lord Pit.
And the AOG comes in right up the Lord is taken down by Insane. Unstoppable, 27's down. They will have to retreat to defend. But Ray, do you think they will be able to defend this Lord? They have 27 down. They still have 4 of them left. Meanwhile, Zohunt and escape the CO cables. And yeah, they do have some of the resources left, I suppose. The ultimates are there, but well, you never know. I mean, DNS, they're not gonna let this opportunity go.
Yeah, definitely. And this is still a weak Lord, so I think they might be able to, because they do have Eden's Eternal Guard, which will be dishing out a lot of damage. So maybe, unless Team DNS, they just go in immediately for it right now, and we could just see the charge coming in immediately. Let's just see. Lord goes in.
Not yet. No casualty so far. The inhibitor will definitely be going down. Those have tried really hard to shell some damage to steel cables, but not being able to do so far. They're coming straight in for the crystal. Look at the damage. Multiple kill for Insane. Go for another one. Double kill. Could be a triple, but a shutdown from the side of Eden. Another one goes on 27 solid, so double kill for Kyle. He is the man. He is gonna be able to save the crystal so far from the DNS, and this is gonna be a defense, Ray.
Almost thought Team Tartarus was gonna lose out here, but they were able to buy a little bit more time, and Kyle might finally be able to come in online. I mean, it's just that he usually mid-game is where Kyle comes online, but in this game he's not able to do so particularly. Porcupine, that is a really bad.
Porcupine, look at the episode comes in, but this one comes down. Oh my god!
You don't do that to Kyle.
For you. Meanwhile, in the purple bomb, Zohunt versus RA. Zohunt did take the purple bomb, but he's gonna have to run away. Look at the damage that Romer is dealing to the jungler.
It's a Badang, right? But yeah, I think Porcupine, that was not the best decision to make. It's Kyle. You can't really take him down 1 versus 1, right? You can't burst him down. I mean, due to technicalities, he had the Blood Wings and he has the dashes, so I think that was a really bad decision into the hands of Porcupine, and that was just gave him one more kill. And right now, both gold laners are full build, and in a 1 versus 1, I think Harith will be winning it out in most of the time.
Ooh, an ejector! Ejector right into RA. Kyle is looking tough like supposed, but no, he's still in a good position. Kyle is insane! Insane is gonna have to escape! Look at the damage Kyle just dealt him.
Top lane to me.
It's not over yet, but I knew it. I knew it. The moment I saw the situation up there, I knew Kimmy just gonna run away and the entire team's gonna follow.
And right now the score is 12-9. 2K goal lead into the hands of DNS, but game is already progressing towards the later phases. And this is where the Bruno versus the Harrods showdown is going to matter the most. If Kyle is able to win out the engages, it's where Tartarus wins. And if X marks the spot tonight comes in with a miracle, oh, look at that.
And like, just like that, taking down one man down, 27 will be punished as well. Comes on Mark's circle, but Joseph comes in handy, takes another one. I suppose Marks will not be able to escape this one, but so far, Kyle can deal some damage. Definitely gonna be a double play. Ari manages to escape so far. The Lord stand in. They have Kyle, they have Joseph, this is Timmy, Eden. This should be an easy Lord for Tartarus.
But yeah, knowing that Selena doesn't have a wave here, they want to go in immediately and possibly take the inhibitor because Selena cannot defend and neither can Are.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Joseph just been taken down, but Kyle still standing. Insane's coming back in just... Oh, he's already back. Don't you think they should have rather gone for the Lord?
I think Joseph should have gone for the Lord because once he gets inside the wall, it's really hard for him to come out. Kyle, on the other hand, doesn't really face that issue. He has the Purify, and also it's one of his passive, having less CC duration, and of course he also has the shield. So I think Joseph was a little bit too aggressive. He wanted to take down Porcupine. That was unnecessary, but other than that, they were able to take down the inhibitors. So I would say it's a 50-50. Not exactly a win, but not exactly a loss either. But already into the Lord. Let's see what happens.
Meanwhile, let's have a look at the Lord dance. Kimmy is going to take him down. Insane comes to take Eden. Really able to take Eden down so far. Monster kill for Kyle. Going in Insane. Have to run away, but Kyle still chasing Insane down. And look at that hyper. There will be no Lord for, I suppose, DNS because Insane is recalling.
Yeah, and Joseph is present right now, and that's really great coordination coming in from both their ends. There's X marks the spot, but it can really go in. Oh, the wall.
Look at Ari. He was just waiting for Joseph, but Joseph comes in, dodges him, and takes down Mark's spot.
Ooh, the damage.
Definitely. I really thought that Ari, he was just waiting for Joseph to pop up, and then with the fist, he's gonna take him down. But he dodged him and takes down Mark's spot. And the moment Mark's spot was down, they goes back. They don't want to fight with the Lord. They don't want to fight for the Lord. But I have to say, both the teams are really trying to set it up. Joseph trying to take another one down. Ari, another position. I think he will be in trouble, but so far, so good.
Look at that.
Another fight goes in, but Eden has to take it down into the immortality, but up to no avail. No life for Kyle. And this is gonna be a bad news for DNS, I suppose, because the Lord's there. Kyle owns it.
Did you see the item swap? Insane. Immediately switched to Immortality and was on Winter Crown but could not click it. That was really fast, Insane. But oh, look at into the top lane. They're really zoning out their Lord properly and mark the spot. I mean, he wants to go in for the back door, but can he? Can he? Because the
I doubt it. I doubt it. Really hard. The man comes in. Joseph, the retribution, of course. Insane's dad. Right? So, well, could be a comeback. I mean, I won't say comeback, really. Both the teams were...
Yeah, back and forth. They were neck to neck, actually.
Wow. I'm loving it. But this Lord could be bad news for DNS. They could have won. They were doing really good so far. I mean, mostly, actually, Ari's impact and countering Fanny and stopping Joseph, as well as dealing so much damage. Good job.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. But this is the 18 minutes new evolved Lord that's going to be charging straight into the base. There's the concealed play.
Opposing Joseph fails to take Rocks and fall down. AOG pops enough to no avail, connects no one. And the Lord is still standing. Corey Beauty comes in, trying to do some CC, but just not enough. Absolutely comes in, but just not enough damage. They are really focusing on trying to take the Lord down, but the legendary Kyle not gonna give up. 27 down, double kill from Kyle. It's gonna go in for more, I suppose, but no. Not right now. Look at this HP. An injector pops in on Corey Beauty, but he bit more than he could chew, and it's gonna go down. Not yet. Wait, not yet. It's very tanky.
All of them actually survived that sliver of HP, right? Kyle almost got... He was one ball away to his face from X marks the spot to be taken down. And so was Joseph and Kimmy, right? But they all survived, so that means 4 people still up. Only 27 was a casualty. And onto the other side, 2 getting taken down, Insane and Are, who will be coming back soon. And Kyle looking for that window to end the game as soon as possible. Joseph
Gonna
goes
giving
in.
up. Joseph comes in. Not a spot. Reloading on the side. Showdown. Kyle is seven. Oh wow, they tried to beat more than they could chew and ends up giving a triple kill. Kimmy, what is he doing? They have vision of Kimmy with the flicker.
Oh, that was unfortunate.
Still time that little arrow. And so far
Oh my
they
God.
only 27 standing. They have the minion. They're gonna end right here, right now. Ray, is 27 gonna save the day?
He's against the world. He's against the whole Dads and Sons.
Jeez! Oh, with the immortality. My bad, bro.
Team Dads and Sons. Yep, they're getting the win. There's nobody into the base. No one's moment. They're gonna secure the victory. And we gotta give the credit to 100% Corey Cutie. That was unexpected. He immediately got a triple kill, and I think that was them underestimating the primal rat, and they face the consequences of it. I mean, nobody was expecting Corey Cutie to get a triple kill at the end, and that really changed the whole outcome of the game. And also, I mean, even if Kimmy did not get taken down, what could he really do? Both of them are roamers. They can't really have wave clear. They can maybe throw some people around, but doesn't gonna really matter. It's not going to. So that Corey Cutie play over here, I know the MVP X marks the spot. Not gonna take any credit away from him, but Corey Cutie's last engage into the end, getting that triple kill, taking down Kimmy by himself. That was the highlight play that led DNS securing the game number 1, which Tartarus was not at all anticipating.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ray, you're lagging, so I'm gonna speak. And well, for me, I think the MVP was Are, no doubt. I mean, both of us, we were really doubting as to how they were gonna counter that Fanny, but Are, what a job well done. He was there almost every time. He was ready with the fist almost every time. And Joseph had a really hard time because of Ari. And I think at the end, it was really the overextension from the side of Tartarus. They got really desperate to end it. There were times when they could just go for the Lord, or there were times where they could retreat and wait for the better time, better everything. But they just wanted to rush so bad. Maybe, I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
they were scared of the late game as to Mark's spot because he was getting really farmed. Definitely the overextension for me.
Overextension, as well
Mhm.
as the fact that I think they underestimated Corey Cutie. I mean, it is understandable. 15% damage dealt, right? He was not
Mhm.
doing much anything into the game, and that's what Edith really is. It's to provide the utility, dish out some damage, and come back. That's how you play you Edith. And I think they were a little bit too focused on X marks the spot, where he took a lot of damage, and because of that, I mean, they almost took down X marks the spot, but they kind of neglected Corey Cutie, who just had full passive onto the primal rat, and that's when he gets the most lifesteal, most damage, most penetration, and everything. So because of that, I think they were not anticipating Corey
Mhm.
Cutie to do that. 3 people got taken down and was not into the table. They were ready to throw Kimi, like make him the sacrificial goat. Like even if Kimi
Mhm.
gets taken down, Kyle can end the game. That's what they were looking for, but they were not able to get it. And things are gonna be really interesting because this is a best of 3 playoffs. Yep, nobody's getting eliminated. They're gonna be pushed to the lower brackets, but still, it's about the ego, it's about the respect, it's about the everything. And Jenny, before we head on into the second game immediately, because there's no breaks, what do you want to say about any of these teams?
Well, I think like you mentioned, like we talked about during the first game, I think during the draft about the confidence thing. I think
Yeah.
Tartarus really did get overconfident. They just
Hmm.
immediately locked onto the Fanny, and they did not think that that's Sons. They might be really cooking something up if they're giving you that Fanny so easily. So I
Yeah,
think I think they're gonna stop. They're gonna have to stop underestimating their opponents during the draft itself. And not gonna
definitely.
lie, I mean, both of us, especially you, looked a little bit disappointed during the draft, but well, it turned out really good for DNS. They did really manage to work it
Hmm.
out, especially Ara with the Badang, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
I
mean,
think I'm liking the variety and the versatility that DNS is bringing up here in the draft. So I don't really want to say anything to the team. I just want to watch what comes next.
Yeah, I mean, our co-caster, Bolty, Hemi Bolty, or just Bolty
Mhm.
into the chat. Uh, he likes to mention that he's actually. I mean, it's not that anybody hates Tartarus. It's that they're the giants right now in this tournament, and they haven't fallen. I mean, they have lost matches in BO3, but it's still
Mhm.
a win on the end, 2-1,
Okay,
right?
I got
So yeah.
it. Mhm.
So because of that, a lot of people have been waiting to see which team is going to defeat. Bolty was basically like, is the caster's curse real? And he tried to curse Tartarus, but it did not work. Maybe it worked for me because I was saying DNS draft is kind of, you said it disappointing, but turns out
Yeah.
that draft worked out well. Maybe if I curse it again, maybe Tartarus will face the
Hey, try
curse.
it. Let's see.
If
Let's
it
see.
works, I'll be taking
Uh,
commission commission money from everyone. But anyways, jokes aside, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be diving straight into the game number 2. So if you're already here, why not invite your friends and families and boys and girls of all ages for this game? Because right now we're into the new patch and we have the new latest teams. I know some of them are very familiar with it, but still it's Tartarus versus dads and sons looking to make the history. Might be able to clean sweep Tartarus. If they do, it's a new reputation for them, for their whole family, because I mean their whole team is dads and sons, right? But Tartarus, obviously, they're going to be putting everything into it. There's not going to be any ego play here, or maybe there will be, but they're going to be looking to make it a game number 3. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's just see how it goes, and let's just proceed with it.
yeah, like you mentioned, this could be history because, like I said, no one's managed to defeat Tartarus so far. But that's just they do have the potential. And I think if this carries on, just keep on playing smart, they'll definitely. But actually, in the last match, I thought Tartarus was gonna win at the end.
Yeah, they were very close, yeah.
Yeah, it was turning out really well for them. But then, a lot of times, actually, I could see some overextensions and miscommunication, like quick decision making went wrong. That time when I was telling you that they should have rather gone for the Lord, but they underestimated Selena and Ari on the Badang, and then they tried to push, and what happened? Joseph died.
Yeah.
Right? So I think
they could have done it earlier, just like you mentioned. And finally, they're actually paying respect to Porcupine Selena. Did it make an impact? Not that much, but did it annoy them? Did it position them in a place where they could not really maneuver properly? Joseph was forced to use his cables more often to dodge the stuns. Kyle was forced to use his dashes more often to dodge the stuns. So it was an annoyance. That impact was really felt by Tartarus, and they do not want the Selena this time around. Nor do they want the Harith on their end, because Harith has one weakness. Once the Zaman force is down, that's when he's vulnerable. They don't want that, but at the same time, they don't want X marks the spot because it's a hero. Obviously, he plays as well. But finally, this time around, 27 going for a classic pick. Something that it doesn't really go often, but this might just mean that serious mode is on, that game face is on, and they want to take down dads and sons together.
No blinks. They got phobias. Okay, EXP been picked. Alright, they're revealing their EXPs. I mean, okay, you're gonna show us, but hold on again. Badang could go for the roam position once again. Well, you tell me quickly, Ray, is Badang on the roam again or EXP?
I think it's possibly gonna go for the roam again, because Array really did a really good job. I mean, if it's not broken, why fix it? And the second thing is that Cody Cutie likes to play the chunky boys on 3xp lane. It's what he feels most comfortable, and obviously he was able to make that play because he was onto that Edith. I don't think he would be able to do so. Not to take it away from him, but the Badang really worked out much better, unless there are surprises tonight, because they've been surprising us a lot, because Array usually likes to go for the pickoffs, not for the AoE, so that's interesting. Okay, Insane going for the Joy again. They're really following the what's broken, don't fix it methodology, but they finally get the Granger. And let me tell you, Jenny, I know it's been a while since you're into this tournament, but still, you're here. It's a pleasure. But Granger into this tournament, he's the hero that's been picked the most. He's the hero with the most maniacs, around 10, or savages, around 5.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think X marks the spot, Kyle, and who else was it? Skyzen, and as well as another, I forgot the name. Oh, sorry for that, but all of them have gotten maniacs and savages because of how impactful this hero is. It's criminal that this guy did not get nerfed in the latest patch notes. So yeah, this time around, Granger into the hands of X marks the spot, and his Death Sonata is definitely marking the spot. But let's see, Tartarus this time also they get the Luo V, one of the most crucial picks for the hands of Tartarus, because it really gives them a lot of surprise
Definitely.
plays.
Definitely with the diversion, I think they can pull a lot of ganks into their favor. But again, Insane was really insane with the Joy in the last match. So yeah, marks the spot with the Granger, and like you said, he's good at it. He's the most big hero, most maniacs, most savages. So I think they're really getting what they want in this draft so far. Hayabusa 27. I think it's been a while. I saw Joseph playing Hayabusa. The last time I saw him playing, he was too good. I remember. I think he was an ET, right, Ray? Eternal something.
Yes, I think so as well. And I just noticed something. I just noticed in this tournament so far, okay, and as well as White Feather's Arc, another ongoing tournament, Fanny has had the highest ban rate, okay, close to 99%. But tonight, there's Fanny Open, but no one is picking it because it did not work.
Yeah.
Dads and
I
Sons,
think it's because of the last match's impact.
Yeah.
Array's
DNS
impact.
Array's impact, but also DNS, they have made Fanny, tried to make it work against Tartarus itself, did not work, so they are also aware Fanny's not gonna work, and Tartarus also, they're like, Fanny's not gonna work tonight, we're gonna pull out something else. So Joseph actually goes in for something new. It's the Hayabusa that we haven't seen in a while, so let's see how it works out. Okay, Corey Cutie locks in the Uranus. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting game, to say the least, because sustain versus sustain, who's gonna win it out into the XP lane? The answer is no one, because they're just gonna keep fighting until one of them is gone to a pulp. But let's see, the gold laner,
So
the main
it's gonna
crucial
be
factor.
how to say, it's gonna be a really tanky EXP Cold War situation. But you know what, Hayabusa maybe might feel like a little new here in this tournament, but I have seen Joseph on that Hayabusa, and that's no news for him. This guy with the Hayabusa is really good. Let's see how he can pull it off this time around in this match. But he's really good. The last time I saw him playing Hayabusa, I think he was in ET, and oh my god, he's so fast. Yeah, so fast, so good. Everything. Okay, we think, Gary on the cut. Alright. Given the fact that they have the Uranus, Kyle was like, let me go carry. Yeah, but they're gonna have to be able to provide the box to carry. Alright? Because they have the Sicilian up there. You won't have to go very near. It's gonna have to deal damage from far away. So honestly, it's gonna depend upon how Joseph and Eden provides that box for Kyle. Let's see.
Yes, absolutely right. And that's gonna be the main thing, because Eden diversion is going to be the main key factor here. He has been one of the most consistent mages in whole India region, and he's been showing himself over and over again. But it's going to be a question how good it's going to work out, because DNS tonight looks into form. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the land of dawn, and it's going to be Tartarus versus Dads and Sons into this best of 3 playoffs, where the winner goes directly into the semifinals, and the loser goes to the lower bracket to fight another battle. But anyways, match point for Tartarus, because they are in the losing end, which is surprising to say the least. But let's see if the game faces are on. Onto the casting desk, you can clearly see it's Jenny and Ray. Let's see how this game proceeds. But we already discussed the draft. Who do you want to put your bet this time?
I think I'll go with DNS this time, because I feel like they got their comfort pick. I feel like Ari got the Badang again. Insane got the Joy again. Pookie Pie, he's gonna be able to deal damage from far. But I just got one doubt. That is, this might happen that Pookie Pie won't get the box to play in because of Kimmy and Eden, and Joseph is just gonna dive back in for him. So honestly, I'm so confused right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really it's gonna be a game filled with questions, and let's see which team really comes up with the answers. The first turtle gonna spawn in. I mean, I said it, like, Kimmy getting taken down first, it's a good omen for them. Maybe Kimmy needs to be first, but again, maybe it might work out, because look at that. He's still going in. Oh, that was close.
That was so close. He was very much into taking the first blood this time instead of giving one. But yeah, well tried, well tried. Meanwhile, it's gonna be a turtle fight. Ari still onto the Insane, still onto the wait, purple, but he used up his retribution. retribution. Corey Cutie might be in trouble. Zosef still trying to steal it away. And the turtle has been slain by Zosef. Corey Cutie won't be able to manage. The first blood goes to Kimmy.
Okay, Kimmy gets the first blood. He's changing things tonight. But overall, look at the amount of map has. He's just being a full-on annoyance to the hands of Team Dads and Sons. And that's what he gets when he picks up a Setter tank. But overall, one thing I really like to mention is the fact that this time, Uranus is more of a bruiser, right? He cannot dish out damage. He's just gonna be in front, trying to be an annoyance, trying to clear the lanes faster and just take as many times. Oh, look at that into mid lane dog.
With the AOG, it manages to escape. That was close. Yeah. He used the AOG to run away. I mean, it's worth it, right? If you're not dying. Let's have a look at the top lane. Cold War, EXP War, 27 versus Corey Cutie. Like you said, no one's gonna end up dying, but damage. That was a lot of damage. But then end up coming in. Zosef could be a kill over Corey Cutie, but just not yet using up the like I said. Good backup. Good backup.
And they only send one. I thought almost Eden was going to come in, but actually that was good. Only Joseph was required. I mean, don't overdo it, and that's basically what they did. But so far, I really want to see how far both of these goal laners have progressed, because Kyle and X marks the spot, that contention is what really gonna matter. Okay, Hunter Strike into the hands of X marks the spot. Nothing into the hands of Kyle just yet. But okay, there we go. Yep, Kyle doesn't really have the first item just yet, so he's going to be needing it quite soon. But it's a carry. It's going to be progressing towards the later game, so they still have the game isn't lost, obviously. Granger on the other hand, getting that first item gonna matter. Let's see. Rest. Oh, okay. Phobius going for full tank build. No damage just yet. Understandable when he's faced against the Uranus. It's a sustained battle, nothing else. Hunter Strike for Joseph as well. So everybody's gonna get their first item into it, except for the mages. So into this turtle fight, it's gonna matter a lot, especially Joy doesn't have the first item yet, so maybe Joseph will probably get this turtle without any contest. Because look at that, he's so far away, or is he gonna come in time?
Could be. I mean, Corey Cute is providing the vision, and the rest of the team, they don't look very interested, and the turtle has been taken down by Joseph. I think it's because Insane... Wait, hold on. Insane did have his retribution, but he was just not up for it, so they don't want to take a fight. Anyways, diversion up at the bottom. Trouble goes up easily to him down, and Insane goes down. Punished for not being careful. Punished for not being aware of the diversion that they have in the team.
And that's gonna be a weak spot if it continues to do so, because this time around, look at that. 3 kills for none into the hands of Tartarus, which are able to show their, obviously, their early game prowess this time around. Curry Cutie, being the sandbag, is also basically trying to push the turrets, does get an objective, but onto the bottom lane, whoever goes into the bush is going to be in a lot of trouble, because 4 people there, they're possibly looking for trying to equalize the structural push as well, because Corey Cutie just pushed the top lane. They're going to do the same into the bottom as Array and X mark the spot. They have to forcefully go back. They can't really defend it, so it's going to equalize. Tartarus still has the upper game. Oh, mid lane?
Mid lane. Shadow Kill comes in, but just not enough.
Oh, diversion.
Corey Cutie is insane. The air... Yo, hold on. The diversion. They are not aware of Eden and Kim's push. But Shadow comes in with the Luo, Yin and Yang. And so far, no casualty. They did manage to escape the situation up there.
That was actually really nice. Array used the conceal because he was actually aware. That is really great map presence. I mean, he's a roamer. That kind of makes sense why he was able to detect out there's possibly going to be a diversion into the mid lane. So he went in with the flicker, but he did force out Eden's flicker, so I think it's a 50-50, right? It's a 50-50. Both kind of lose out on that end, but it's a roamer for a mid lane. So Team Dads and Sons, they might be able to take down Eden the next time around, but Corey Cutie might be in a dicey position.
Now he does have the escape, but comes to the Shadow Kill. Whoa, damage. I honestly thought that he might be able to escape, but just not the rhythm comes in insane. But again, they don't have the resources to take Kimmy as well as 27 down so far. Ari, Zosef comes in the pin strike and a crack. Zosef,
another diversion.
Shadow, the AOG pops in, but just too late, honestly.
Yeah. Score still 0-4. Team Dads and Sons still not able to take a kill, but look at that. We need to point out the main highlight. Look at Kyle. There's no one on him. He's farming freely. They're giving him so much space, and that might be a catch. Look at that in the turtle.
The turtle has been slain by Insane finally with the retribution battle. 27 still zoning everyone away. Look at that. Insane though, he's up far away the map. Meanwhile, Kyle just dealing damage, dishing out the damage to Porcupine. And that's it. They did manage to take the turtle at
Joseph.
least.
Look at Joseph.
Joseph, exactly. Joseph is waiting for someone. He's waiting for the perfect timing.
Porcupine.
He's going to make a kill comes in. Joseph takes him down. Double kill. Another one for Joseph. And he manages to get the purple buff as well.
Yeah, he was spotting it. He was behind for that simple reason. He was looking for that perfect opportunity, got the double kill, took down the mid laner as well as the gold, and that is a massive win. Did you finally get a kill on Radania? Oh, okay. Ethan wants to go in.
Wait, what was that AOT? Give me.
I think it was defensive.
Yeah.
But still, yeah. 3k gold lead into the hands of Tartarus, 7 onto the board of kills, only 1 to the hands of DNS. They do have 2 turrets though, they were trying to equalize. So, I mean, both teams actually have 2 turrets, so it's 50-50 on both ends. But still, you can clearly see the early game as well. Joseph 5-0-1 possibly has around 40 stacks into a Snipe Piercer. He easily melts. Look at 42, he melts down.
The yin and yang combo up there. Joseph comes in behind, taking out Porcupine, but monster kill on Mars's spot. He's going for more, but no, goes back, and they're not gonna make any mistakes.
Every time Joseph is coming from behind, but what can you really do? There's like in front, there's 27 just being an absolute menace, and in behind there's Joseph. I don't think they can do something because Array, he's playing an initiator. He can't really do defensive plays. He needs to go ahead to make the play. And because of that, this time around, Tartarus has found a weakness because you can only do it once, not twice against TRT because they are really coming up with the counters. And look at Kyle. He is getting taken down once, but still he has farmed. And Joseph, he's building towards his 4th item. He's so much ahead than Joseph, who's not even done with his second 40 stacks into the sky.
Joseph goes in and takes down, marks the spot just for that. With the shadow kill right before the Lord. This Lord should come a little bit easy to Tartarus since they do not have the goal laner right here. And Timmy, as well as 27, doing a really good job at zoning them away. The Lord has been taken down by Joseph. I told you, this guy with the Hayabusa is insane. He's very comfortable. And every day is not Sunday. Ares, come on. Badang, once, not again. We could have waited for something.
Blue team turret has
Yeah,
been
definitely. It's
destroyed.
not working out because Team DNS knew what they did into the first game and it's not going to be able to repeat it. Especially this time around where Hayabusa is not going to be countered by the walls. He can easily dash out whenever he has shadows. And because of that, and also this time around, they don't have Harriet. Harriet was kind of bad against the Banang for a simple reason. Once you get inside the walls, you cannot dash much. And to dodge that wall, you have to waste 1 dash. And that is really heavy if you're playing a Harriet. Because that's the main weakness of the Harriet. And that's why sometimes Harriet can be countered out. That's why he's not invincible. But on the other hand, this time around, they have the carry, which is a DPS. And also their team mostly revolves around having 2 tanky frontliners. They are not having the best of their time. Granger is kind of behind in stacks as well. Only 354 so far. Needed close to 500. And no stacks into the Sky Piercer either. This time it might be a little bit... they might be in a little bit of a jeopardy because of that. They're losing turrets left and right. Mid one is probably going to be in contest. They're going to go in perhaps.
Yeah, that was a big defense from top lane. The Lord is down. But they're going to pressurize the mid lane for sure. Not going to be able to defend. Inhibitors though, definitely. And yeah, well, they don't want to overextend like they did in the last match. So they're just gonna take away the minions a little bit and then go back and wait for DNS to make some mistakes again, come out and try and get some kills, isolate them maybe, poke them. You're gonna have to wait.
Yes. And I actually forgot, was Edith banned out? Because I do understand Uranus ideology, but it's just that it's not working out simply because there's too much shredders, there's too much damage. You can't really be a sandbag when there's basically water in front of you because you're getting... it's a lame joke, but still. Arif only gets the Dominance Ice now, so really behind. Oh, there's a diversion play where it's gonna come. Let's just see. Oh,
Nowhere.
they are forcing Joseph to go behind each time, and it's working actually. That's how they're coming behind.
Wait. The position. Look at him. He's trying something. He's trying to see maybe a solo pick. up in the bottom lane, just like he did take Mark's spot down right before the Lord. So yeah, that really helps. But right now they're playing it really safe. If you can see DNS, they don't want to go out, and they're really not in the position. Corey Cutie is not in the position to try and give a lot of vision, because the moment he goes, it's gonna be really hard for him to come out. He's gonna get melted. So they're in a very, how to say, difficult situation.
Yeah, they're in, and look at that. Hayabusa is gonna be building the last item, which is definitely gonna be the Blade of Despair. And once that comes in, the damage is gonna be really a lot. And one thing to mention is that if you aren't aware of the new patch notice, is that Hayabusa dishes out more damage when he uses Shuriken, but already into the Lord. Let's see what happens.
Comes an AOG, insane, trying to take out Eden, get down, the Lord, legendary, so Corey Cutie is gonna take it out as well. Look, Kimmy is gonna have the immortality, but the Lord is gonna be a retribution. Have a look. Joseph takes the Lord down. Insane is gonna have to go away. Joseph comes in for more kills. Pookie Pie gonna have to survive this one, and he did. But it's not Joseph. Oh my god.
This time he was like in every shadow there was waiting someone. There was Insane waiting for 2. There was Pokepine on 1, and X marks the spot into the last one. And whoever he went back to, he didn't have the ultimate. He was 2 seconds away. Look at that. He has the ultimate right now. That was unfortunate. But Kyle, that was a mistake.
It came in handy. The Badam array came in handy once again. AOG. Kimmy just to run away. This is gonna be an easy defense. Meanwhile, Insane trying to push up in the top lane. Might be in trouble, but he does have the Meow ROG, so he's just gonna go away.
That is actually bad. That was actually bad, right? That was really bad. I think Alton have really went in for that. I think that was unnecessary. I think he was a little bit too confident for that one. But
yeah, he
still,
thought he had enough damage to burst him down, but he wasn't expecting the CC, I suppose. Meanwhile, another fifth crack comes in. Even the biggest takedown, Insane ready to go for more kills, I suppose. The Rhapsody comes in, 27 to take it out as well. Killing spree. Joseph in the bush. He's trying to take someone. He's gonna pick Spooky Pie. Finally, repositioning down with the damage. Look at that. Meanwhile, Joseph, double kill. Could be a triple, I suppose. He's trying to run away from Corey Cutie. He doesn't have enough damage to melt him down. He's gonna have to go away. Insane. Still trying to chain a little bit, but comes in. He goes back. Joseph comes back for Corey Cutie. Why would you chase the Hayabusa alone when he has backup?
and right now, they're gonna be trying to think to shred into the base, but they're probably not gonna be able to do that. Because they don't have the wave just yet. Lord's gonna be coming in 60 seconds. It's not the evolved Lord, but Hayabusa still basically maxed. There's only 8 left, which is basically gonna be recuperated in like 1 more kill. But Hayabusa, he swapped out the 7th. The anti-heal for immortality. That was a smart play, but he's back again. He does have the ultimate. Kyle gets them. I mean, Malefic Gun, I feel like it's a little questionable item for me. I feel like the Wind of Nature would be much better, but look at that.
But that's another. And Mark's spot goes down. I told you, even back before, right before Lord, the way they are marking this guy. Meanwhile, Kimmy, he has immortality, but they're still trying to take him down. At least spend the immortality, but just not yet. Anyways, look at the marking, Ray.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Joseph is on fire. I mean, I've seen this guy on Hayabusa before. It's criminal. He doesn't really use it until he's waiting for the right moment. It's like, don't make me use my Hayabusa. It's a statement. But still, into the Lord pit. Insane. He's not really gonna be able to find it, or easy. I think it's an untouched slot. Yep.
That was close. Meanwhile, the AOG had Insane. Unstoppable. Joseph takes him down. It's getting really hard. Like I said, Kimmy and 27, they should be able to provide the box, and they are providing it both for Kyle as well as Joseph and Eden. So it's getting really hard for Insane to try and mark anybody, right? Anyways, Ray, is there gonna be a defense, or they will be able to take down this round?
It honestly depends on X marks the spot and Porcupine because they're the only ones with waves here. But right now they're losing a lot of their energy. But let's see, into the mid lane, already gonna be losing it out. Perhaps top lane also lost. I think Tartarus might just go in here, but actually, this is actually nice. They're not repeating the same mistake that they did in previous
Yeah.
games. Not rushing it, not extending it. They know they have the game into their grasp. Don't rush it just because they're just Sicilian. You have it. Joseph has the game under control. Let's just wait. But the diversion might be coming in soon or not. Looks like, yeah, they're playing the patient game this time around. No stupid mistakes.
No more overextension, not even what comes in, Joseph. Just poking. You know, the moment they see marks the spot a little bit off position, they're gonna jump in. They're gonna take him down and then follow up. This is gonna happen. So right now, they should be really focused on marks the spot. They should be really try. They should really try and give him the box, which isn't gonna be easy because obviously they have Kimi and 27 standing up there. And what will Ari and 4QD do? What do you think? What could actually work out for them?
I mean, Korikuri is just a sandbag. But he's not going to be able to take any damage because there's Kyle with the carry, and there's Hayabusa with the max out stacks into the Sky Piercer. So anytime he's below 20% HP, he's gonna be basically practically dead. So Korikuri is not
Yeah.
really able to provide anything much for the team, which
Zero
is sad,
five
but that's the
one.
truth. Yeah, that's the truth. He can't really be a sandbag because there's a carry into the opposing team. They knew what happened in the previous game and did not take risk. Immediately locked in the carry, and it's working out wonders for them. Corey QT is forced to play in the back end, forced to bite the bullet and play passive. On the other hand, I feel like Are can make the play, and if he can catch perhaps Eden or maybe Kyle again, especially Kyle, Corey QT will have the chance to make some form of play, and obviously X marks the spot and Porcupine from the back end will be able to provide that necessary engage. But right now, all five together, no, four together into the hands of Tartarus, they are probably looking for a space to go for the diversion. Doesn't really get exposed just yet. So I think they can go for it, but not
Yeah.
yet. They're taking their time. They're taking their time because there's Lord gonna be spawning in. No rush mistakes this time around. I really like the discipline, learning it from the first game. But let's see, it's an 80-minute Lord, and this is the Vault one that they're gonna be able to get. Is DNS gonna contest it?
Definitely. I mean, I was anticipating a diversion, but okay, they want to wait. And okay, diversion. Actually, Zosev is going to go away. Oh, you're going straight for Porcupine. That diversion always for Zosev. Monster kill. Very well executed. Very well planned. Meanwhile, double kill for Zosev. It's going to go for more. Could be a triple, but it's going to go back. And so right now, Kyle still chasing him down. Hold on, Zosev coming for Ari. Ari will be going back. And they will be going back for the Lord. Like you said, the diversion, I think you mentioned back then, they just sent Joseph to the back line. And even I mentioned that Joseph's going to dive in the back line for Porcupine, and they're not going to be able to provide Pookie that box. And this is what's happening. And Corey Cutie, it's not a sandbag. There's no sand left in the bag. So I feel bad for him. And the Lord goes for Tartarus.
Yeah, and it's an evolved one at 20 minutes. Okay, why is the diversion being used? Oh, okay.
It's not for fun. Definitely not for fun. They did try something, but yeah. No more surprises. The diversion being used. But meanwhile,
Ooh, that was bad.
Definitely good one. I mean, they did mess up. They did mess up. 27's down. They could have ended, honestly. But let's see. The game's not over. I mean, they still have 4 people. Okay, hold on. Joseph's coming in. Could be a kill, I suppose. But no. Just too much for now. I feel like maybe they wasted this Lord by getting 27 killed.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know why, but I think they were trying to go for the back end, but could not really go for. But Lord is going to be coming in. Oh, Kyle almost took. But still, this Lord is going to go to waste. I think that was kind of unnecessary, and they were underestimating the damage. Again, Porcupine right now, it's 21 minutes in. It would be nice to see the stacks because I just saw Granger has 700 stacks. It's a little less for 20 minutes, but still, it's much higher than they anticipated. So the damage is there. They can't really, and that's why they're actually going for Porcupine every time, and it's working out well. But this time, Porcupine was still into the battlefield. So I think that was kind of unnecessary, right? And this game is going to get extended a little bit more. The gold lead is not going to matter any much because 60,000 gold lead. Gold on both ends basically means full items, full level, maxed on both. Let's just see how it works out. Barang just sold out perhaps an immortality, possibly gonna buy it something else. But on the other hand, classic itemizations overall. Everyone. Wind of Nature on no, Kerry hasn't bought the Wind of Nature, right? I would like him to buy the Wind actually, because especially the Granger, they can't really underestimate it anymore. Yeah, Hayabusa though, obviously full damage. Will go for 27 this time around though. Going in for the Winter Crown. I think they will possibly go for a bait.
Yeah, could be. But like we said, they don't want to make any mistake this time. So they're really still waiting for DNS to use up the resources and make some mistake. But did take the purple buff. Meanwhile, have a look at Kyle. He's waiting for someone to try and come and defend so that they can take a kill, and he's gonna hold the minions. Anyways, I think the next Lord is gonna decide everything, and it's just up in a few seconds. Ray, what do you think?
I think obviously Team Tartarus is going to be able to get it, but the game is getting extended for 23 minutes right now. 349 stacks. It's a little less, but still they were behind. So 350 is basically a lot of damage into the hands of Sicilian. And because of that, they need to do something about it. I mean, Porcupine has been taken down 3 times, which is obviously all by Joseph. But right now, they're not able to find that angle just yet around. But Kyle coming in from a little dicey spot, but still it's gonna be okay. They're gonna get the Lord. But can they go in for aggressive end? Because they need to do that. They need to take down Porcupine. But Kimi,
The
time to phone out.
zoning out. Aria is zoning them all out. Insane comes in with a retribution battle. Will they be able to diversion?
What
The
if he's all alone in
diversion,
the
the top
base?
lane. Hold on, they don't want the Lord. They don't want. That was the play. That was actually a distraction. Meanwhile, they came in for the base. Tartarus, what a gameplay! The way they utilized the
actually
diversion. One
that was
champion.
actually yeah.
Oh yeah. I love the ending.
I don't know if it was Tartarus, but I think it was Tartarus. It's not the first time they've actually done it. It is, yep, they have done it before. And on this tournament itself, I remember it right now. The memories came back to me. But yeah, this is what they usually do. They kind of make it look like, oh look, we're taking the Lord. And their
Wow.
all focus was there. Corey QT was the only one left standing, and obviously he doesn't have the wave clear. He's just a sandbag. But obviously the carry, she's basically teared apart the whole of the sand. It came out, but that's it. That's it. Basically, they went in for the diversion, and it completely diverted their attention. Of course, the Lord was a real diversion. They were not able to focus what happened into the base, secured the base, and obviously Tartarus got the game and forced the game number 3. Of course, they forced the game number 3. And right now, that was definitely. I mean, it's basically a play that usually it would be on YouTube, like like the
Yeah, I'm
short
gonna clip
they
that.
put it
I'm
on.
gonna clip
Yeah,
that.
okay, clip that. Definitely clip that. Wardrum Games will obviously clip that as well. But that just means it's gonna go to game number 3.
Wow. But I'm glad that we can see game number 3 because these guys, this is definitely a banger match. Tartarus versus DNS. That was a good prank, I should say. Tartarus, they're just getting better at pranking. Maybe Kronos taught them this. Yeah. That was like they were taking the Lord, and right when they came for the contest, the moment they came for contesting, like surprise diversion.
Yeah.
We'll go to your crystal, but you can follow us. You can follow us in the ult. So you're gonna stay here. You take the Lord. It's like just
Yeah, and
kidding. We want the crystal, not the Lord.
mhm.
That
And
was fun.
yeah, this is actually how kind of Tartarus plays around the mentality. Like they kind of knew they have to focus on the Lord. How can you give out a 23 minutes evolved Lord? It's really hard, right? Giving it away basically means an extremely hard defense. On the other hand, they did see the diversion being played. There was the recalls, but they were not able to come on time. There was a little bit of confusion as well. Like, do we go back or not? Can Korikuti defend this? But obviously, the decision, that split second. I mean, this is why the game is fast paced. A single second can determine the game, and that single second of not being able to recall basically resulted in DNS losing out the game. I know the end might be inevitable because either way, the Lord would have been taken if there was no end, but obviously the game could have been extended a little bit more, buy out some more time, but TRT, they were not looking for anything anymore. They were basically like, prank them, Eden, and they did it.
Well, Ray, this last game, the deciding match. Louis ban, yes or no?
100%. They are not going to be giving out Louis. But I think a lot of people in the chat were basically like complaining, why did you give out the Louis? Why did you not pick up the Valentina? And I think that's going to be a big question, right? They did pick up the Sicilian because I think they wanted the late game insurance. Just in case X marks the spot gets taken down into a later game, they wanted someone to dish out the damage. I understand their mentality, but I think that was looking a little bit too far ahead. Right, the game would have been extended. It did get extended. They did get some time, but at the end they were not able to make that play. But still, we're gonna be diving straight into the third game, ladies and gentlemen. No breaks, of course, because why would we take a break? Like, why would there
When
be
it's so
any?
interesting.
Yeah, it's so intense because Team Tartarus, they are finally into game number 3, and right now, let's just see how this game plays around. DNS and Tartarus, both of them match point. There are no more second chances, and the loser goes to the lower bracket to fight it out again for the semi-finals spot. But let's just see Tartarus paying respect to Porcupine, and finally they're also banning out the Joy, which good for Insane. They're paying respect to him.
Definitely Insane. He was also trying to take down Eden most of the time. He was diving in, even though he did not. There wasn't a lot of impact like the last match because of obvious reasons. They had Kimi on the Badang and 27 on the Phobias. They were giving the box to all the backliners, so it was getting really hard for Insane. But yeah, definitely respect them. And the Selena is banned as well. Sushin, so is Hilda. So wait, they don't want to pick Fanny. The Luoi is still open, as is Padang, because Ari, I think he's still gonna go for it. I have a feeling that Ari is still gonna pick the Padang.
Possibly. Maybe the third time's the charm, right? The third time's the charm. It worked out the first time, I know, but didn't work the second. But maybe third time's it's gonna work out again. It's really nice that they're well aware that the Phobias can be picked by Corey Cutie, because it's a pick that he likes to go for as well. So that is a good decision on their ends. But Louis possibly gonna get banned out here. If not, if the Louis is picked out, I think there's definitely gonna be the Farsa coming, which has been buffed recently. She has more when she becomes the bird, she can rotate much faster right now than previously, and the cooldown for her ultimate is much shorter. But yeah, Matilda gonna band out. They don't want Kimi with the guiding winds businesses, so possibly the Louis or Farsa is gonna be the main contender here time around, because I feel like if Tartarus doesn't pick up the Louis, Dads and Sons is gonna do that, but that might just be another bait that Tartarus just laid out for them, because the Farsa is still open, one of the most overpowered mages right now, because she has the range, she has the damage, and she has everything.
Definitely. Tartarus is gonna be very soon. I feel like they're gonna be the best team in India. Looking back to the community, to the scene, like a month ago, I think it was ABM. Everywhere people were like, "Who's the best ABM?" But I think now they're gonna change. I think they're like, "Who's the best?" They're gonna say Tartarus, and if they win this match, it's only gonna add up to the reputation. So definitely. I feel like Tartarus, this match, not joking, definitely not. Anyways, Harith, first pick, first reveal. What do you have to say about that, Ray? Louis! That's some Suns this time?
Of course, it was coming. There was no doubt. DNS, they were probably smashing the buttons on Louis, like, give it to us, give it to us. And that's what happened. Team Tartarus, of course, winged in.
I don't know if you saw that there is this clip, Speed. Mm-hmm. There's this clip that, like, it's a meme. Speed is give it to me. That clip. I don't know if you saw it. I show Speed clip. I remember that the moment. Oh wait, hold on, Fanny, Fanny Ray.
Yeah, Fanny.
What do you think about it?
Insane this time around, picking up the Fanny. So he's gonna be trying to prove himself to Joseph. Like, look at this. It's one of his signature picks, of course. Insane also loves to play Fanny. Both of them are basically assassin users going to... Okay! Tartarus this time around picking up the Suyo. Joseph, one of his main signature picks for a simple reason. This guy has not been nerfed in 6 months. This guy has been the top jungler overall. Mm-hmm. Snowball, he can do it. Sustain, he can do it. Go into the backline, he can do it. Okay, Tartarus, they're going for ego, I see. They're like, wait, Ari, let me show you how to make the Badang work this time.
Now you take Louis, we take Badang. Now let's see. Meanwhile, they did get the Gatot Kacha. Have to say, good pick so far. I was anticipating that. It's like they are snatching each other's champions. It's just getting more and more interesting. And guys, come on, chat, make some noise in the chat. Share this stream. I mean, this match, everybody's gotta watch. I mean,
Yeah, it's the final showdown. Yeah, it's the
definitely,
final one.
definitely. Banger
It's not
match.
just about, yeah. It's just not about the fact that whoever wins is gonna go to the semifinals bracket. It's about respect. It's about the ego. Tartarus wants to keep the title of being the one that hasn't lost any series yet, right? Any series. They are still the undefeated tyrants that are standing atop in Northeast and maybe even India region, because there are no team that can basically match their level. So it's not about going into the semifinals anymore. It's about making sure that they get an overwhelming win against DNS. And DNS, they're kind of doing the same. It's Cap. It's Lord Insane. He's trying to show that he's also one of the best junglers in India and might be the best above Joseph. Is trying to do that, of course, but let's just see. But just like I mentioned, there's some snatching happening here, right? Some exchanges like, oh, you take Luawi, we take Barang. Oh, you take Barang, we take Gatot Kacha. And let's just see the bans out. Okay, Classic on the ends. Oh, the Bruno respect, though. I love that because they're paying respect to X marks the spot as well. So that's nice to see. That's nice to see. But let's just see what's going to be the goal laner into the hands of DNS this time around. There's just one issue, is that Kyle really needs to be a little bit more careful. Into the first game, his Zaman Force was baited out a lot of times. Yep, he dished out a lot of damage. He took Insane down by himself many times. He even took down Pokipine solo, no issues, no biggie. But few times he was baited out, and that's when he got taken down. And at the end, that's what happened. He got taken down, and the game was over. He needs to watch out it doesn't repeat. But anyways, the bans are over. Let's see what the picks are going to be for DNS and Tartarus. The gold laner into the hands of DNS is I'm curious about, and the mage into the hands of Tartarus. I'm betting my money on a Farsa, unless they're like,
Valentina.
Yep. If you're gonna steal our heroes, we're gonna steal your ultimates.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be Valentina and Granger. I was anticipating, and yeah, he got it. And the fan is funny. It's like someone in the chat said they don't respect each other's fanny. Looks like it. Very well said. Whoever it was. Yeah, honestly, so on point. Anyways, Joseph and Kyle. Kyle's gonna go with the Harriet, of course. The jungle. Well, Joy is up and Joy's banned. Ray, I'm confused. You tell me.
It's to you. It's to you.
So you,
It's
oh
to
my
you, Jen.
bad, my bad. I forgot.
It's okay. It's okay.
So they're gonna have to go for a mage, and
Yeah.
they're gonna have to go for a tank.
Okay.
EXP. Wait, hold on. Hylos
Yep,
is
I knew it.
EXP or Badang's
Hmm.
EXP?
I don't know. Giving Kimi the Hylos is kind of a little bad because he likes to play for the initiators, right? Hylos is more like he gives the fashion ramp for you to walk on. So giving him the Barang makes more sense because he can make the sets, because he's basically, I mean, he likes to play similarly to Are. So I think the Barang into that roaming would have been much better. But let's just see how they kind of work out, because this pick is also kind of going to decide what EXP or what roam option Team DNS is going to go for. Maybe they'll try to mirror it, but overall this mage matchup is really interesting this time around because Farsa, one of the strongest mages in this patch note, has the range, has the burst, has the mobility, paired up against the mage that can give you the one of the best team fights with that diversion play. Okay, there's a pocket play. There's the glue. There's the glue.
The glue. Alright. So now that's gonna be very annoying, and that's a very annoying thing. The split, and oh my god, it's just gonna be all over the place and be a nuisance. It's gonna get into you, it's just gonna lash onto you, and then you're gonna be in trouble. I think it's gonna go and mark Eden.
Yeah, definitely, right? So the glue, this pick, it has been a controversial pick for a lot of seasons, right? Some people say he's the best, he's like you cannot counter him. Some people say he's the worst, he just cannot really do anything much. So it's going to be interesting how well this is executed, but definitely glue exp, and there's Gatot into the roaming position, and overall this game is going to be spicy. It's match point for both of these teams. Team Tartarus versus Team DNS, fighting for their pride, for their ego, and for their respect, and Tartarus especially.
Well. I don't know, like, if you're not watching this tournament, which tournament you're watching, because this is getting just more better and better, more interesting. I mean, the first match as well as the second. In the second match, though, it was almost gonna get one-sided because Tartarus they were so dominating, but still, Still, the first match was neck to neck. Second match, a little bit downwards from the side of
Yeah,
DNS, but definitely the third match is gonna be a banger. Anyways, guys, we're
yeah.
back into the land of Dawn. Myself, Jenny, and this is gonna be the deciding that Ray, well, Ray,
I mean, all the I want to reply right now, but still, blue is bad is the fact that when the split basically becomes a lot of heroes. So heroes in Spellbound, they become full HP. So you have Joseph, you have Kyle, and you also have Joseph and Kyle. He will be full health if they're fighting Koryuki. But when he does a split, he can still give a lot of units. So if anybody's watching, I think if you aren't aware, the glue is gonna be basically a double-edged sword. But already, look at that.
Yup. Insane's got a reputation with the Fanning. The steel cable could be a first blood, and the reputation did not end up well. Koryuki is gonna have to flicker away. That was a first blood for Team Tartarus. Array on the Badang. It's like same thing, different team.
Same, but different, right? Like the meme.
Exactly, my man. On the point, man. That was so good.
Thank you. But Turtle's gonna be spawning in, and obviously, Joseph, it's not just about the Joseph, it's about the hero. Suyo with the Soul Sever just has basically auto retribution win. So Fanny is not gonna be able to contest it at all. So I think most of the objectives, unless they're able to take down Joseph, it's gonna be really hard. Basically, unless they zone him out completely or take him down, it's gonna be a really hard objective control. But overall, 1 kill, 1 turtle, 1k gold lead into the hands of Tartarus in just 2 minutes. Let's just see how this game proceeds.
Let's just say, well, it's do or die situation for both teams. 1-1, and that's a pause. We're gonna have to wait. Meanwhile, Ray, how are
Yeah.
you liking 27 on the Badang? So far, we are seeing a Ray on the Badang.
Yeah, I mean, 27, he has been one of those EXP laners. It's not just about him being in Tartarus, but 27, even back then when he was in Miyameo Gang, his EXP plays would always impress me because he would come up with something creative, right? Something weird that actually kind of makes it work. And also the fact that he is able to create that momentum that their team really needs. And actually, something like that Koryuki did into the first game. Usually, that's 27 who does that because he really likes to play the chunky boys himself too. So, actually, looking at it, both of these teams, they're kind of like very similar. Like Joseph and Sane, they're basically both assassin players. They like to play for that. They like to play for going for that flank a lot. They like to go for that backline play. And on the other hand, we have similar goal lane players who really like to go. I mean, you can see both of them do not like losing out the goal lane. Both of them like to play into the front, aggressive, and as well. So it's a really good matchup. But until the pause happens, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't really invited your friends yet, what are you doing? Because if I'm not wrong, I think I think tonight we only have Wardroom games. Come on, there's no other tournaments happening. If there are, to shout out to them as well. But I mean, come on, tune in because it's Tartarus, basically the giants of Northeast and possibly India, going against DNS, who has been a lot the most consistent team, I would say. I know they have faced the up and downs, but they're still able to come out strong. And I feel like this time period, it's really nice. Both of these teams have improved a lot from previous year that we saw them last time. Especially you, Jenny, right? You saw them a while back, and I think you can clearly see they have improved a lot.
Definitely. I mean, I saw these players playing in different teams just like a few months back, like a couple of months ago, and now their style, everything, like everything looks different. Especially Kyle, this guy just getting better and better.
Definitely. And it's actually kind of nice that he hasn't gotten the Moskov because Kyle on that Moskov is an absolute beast. I mean, I have no idea how does he connect his SOD each time. He once connected at SOD before Kimi was able to jump on top of someone. That is just absolute prediction. So yeah, I mean, it's not a glaze. Credit where it's due, but already game into the mid lane.
Oh, Joseph trying initiation, but just not gonna happen so far. It's coming in with Joseph, but just not enough damage. Also, the revitalize was there, so yeah, no casualties so far. They're trying
One
to.
spell.
I think. Yeah. They're gonna wait for maybe. Oh wait, hold on, Kimmy. Still not enough damage. Comes with a glorious pathway for the HP, but still manages to take him down. Insane, finally showing up what he is with that Fanny. Maybe people are gonna start respecting and banning the Fanny.
Definitely, right? I mean, he's known as many names, Capricutie, as well as Lord Insane, and he has a new name that you can clearly see on the chat as well. But anyways, the score is 1-1. Similar goal on both ends. No turrets obviously taken, so Tartarus is not playing overly aggressive. It's a really disciplined game. They are well aware of the risk that it carries. That once, they kind of want the game to be under their control, so they are not really going for that aggressive route. But so far, all ultimates are available. Second turtle gonna be spawning in. Kimi providing information, and right now 27 gonna be looking for that angle to use the fist crack soon, as the turtle fight has basically begun. Koriguri coming from behind.
Yeah, he's gonna wait. But meanwhile, the fist crack comes in, and look at that! Insane is down, along with the ring of punishment from the side of Kimi, and there will be no turtle for Team DNS.
I can bet Joseph is like taste a little bit of your own medicine, because that's what he faced into that game number
Exactly.
1 with the Fanny. He must be really happy right now. Yeah, Insane, take that. But still, jokes aside, onto the top lane. Oh, look at Kyle. Absolutely dominating against X marks the spot this time around. He's really taken low, but oh, here comes
Could be in
Insane.
trouble, but Insane just already in the fist crack! Oh my god, like you said, taste of your own medicine. Meanwhile, another kill top lane goes down. Koriguri, sorry, marks the spot.
And I love the rotation that they're kind of doing. This is an MPL rotation, which is basically 1-4. The jungler goes into the far lane to just push turrets. And look at that. They're focusing into the gold lane. And this just works out really wonders for them. Because look at that. They might be able to push it into the bottom lane. Might be even going for that invasion. Unless, no, he just uses up the retribution. Not gonna go for that. But top lane, gonna be secured. X marks the spot. Gonna be pushed back a little bit. Lose the gold. And forced to play a little back end. Korikuri gets the Anti-Cura, so will be able to sustain a little bit more, but is it going to be really counting? Because look at that, into the orange buff. They are 27 is providing the information, but I think they're not going to go with it just yet, because mid lane is what they're after. Once they get the mid lane, they can go in for the invasions.
Yeah, like sorry, you know what? I just said Are. I'm supposed to say 27. 27. It's because of Badang impact, right? Anyway, 27 is ready with all the fists. Just for Insane to show up, he's not wasting a single one of them. He has the entire combo. Anyways, look at both the junglers.
Yeah,
and look at the rest of the team. Yeah, the rotation, like you mentioned. I think we might see an Insane versus Zohunt situation. Look at the bottom lane. Look at them. Okay, Insane. I just said insane because I'm like so excited what's gonna happen. But hold on, Zohunt comes to initiation and Insane will have to go back. He's not gonna be able to wall spam. Well tried, but not gonna happen.
I mean, he's technically Insan, so you're not wrong actually.
Insan!
Yeah, but 5-1 score. Last turtle into the hands of Tartarus. A 4k goal lead into the hands of Team Tartarus again. And let's look at the itemization. Oh, Kyle already has 2 items, and they're progressing towards the bottom lane. Kimi possibly wants to go for behind. Let's see. 27.
Comes the Feather Strike. Fuki buying gonna escape, but not gonna happen. It's gonna go down. Definitely with the law and order. The AOG pops in, but very, very not necessary. Kimi's gonna take him down for sure. Goes down. Marks the spot will have to go back. Trying to spam the Rhapsody and deal some damage, but oh, he manages to take 27 down. Comes in Insane. Will he be able to manage to take down one person? But not gonna happen. He is lacking in the energy, the damage, everything.
Yeah, only level 10, and onto the other hands, Joseph is level 13. He's just so ahead, getting all those turtle soup, really beefed him up, and progressing towards the level 14. Under 10 minutes? That is just impressive work. But overall, mid lane is going to be the main contention. Kyle so far hasn't been taken down either, so let's see who gets the first killing spree, because they will have the bounty. Okay, there is a diversion. Let's see where it's going to happen. Ooh, Kyle sees it. He's like, yeah, something fishy, something ain't right.
Kyle is smart. I mean, he got to know that there was a diversion and he escaped. Had he not, he was gonna go down so bad.
Yeah, definitely. But nothing much yet, but this game is definitely intense because every second kind of counts. Oh, mid lane!
Oh, there you go. Killing spree, insane, 150. They should have rather not picked that fatty.
It's not working out this time, but oh, Corey Cutie getting a little poked here, but he's gonna go back. But still, Kimi with killing spree, he has 3 kills. I just realized he's the only one with 3 kills here. When your tank is doing
I mean, that's
most
the
of the
early
killing.
game high loss. That's the early game
Makes sense.
damage. Yeah, this happens when
Oh,
I play high loss. So I'm like, say they surprise the glory is falling
oh,
from behind, and they're gonna go jump in, all diving in to get a killing spree. Kyle goes in for more, but will they be able to take them down? Definitely
damage.
the airstrike. All the damage has been dished out, and they have taken down 3 kills. Insane. He's not gonna come for any attack. He's not gonna come for the purple buff. He's just gonna go and take the minions in the top lane.
Yeah, trying to create the push, trying to get at least one structure because so far they have not taken down a single turret. But there comes Eden with his bird form, able to rotate fast, but the turret's gonna fall. But still, it is actually mad impressive that they were able to put their power.
Insane!
Yeah.
Come on, man! Seriously, he is so behind. The farm is not being able to take Eden down. And meanwhile, oh my god, he managed to escape, but not yet. Joseph comes in. Insane! That was, how to say, insanely sad for Insane.
I mean, it's just a Fanny doesn't getting the early game basically means that she's gonna be pushed to playing the pushing game around, and that's the only thing can do. Oh, Kimi goes in.
The airstrike and the monster kill. The side is so sad. They have everything they need. Mega kill for Kyle, going for more, but won't have to. The Lord is there. They're gonna come back and take the Lord down uncontested.
Yeah, and right now look at the KDA 601. Joseph has 3 items in building towards the Blade of Despair, which is the most expensive item in the game, and he's gonna be getting it few seconds, under 11 minutes to be safe. But a lot's gonna go into their hands. No contest, of course. And Kyle also got the Holy Crystal. So overall, they're just really, really well fed this time. Look at Luoyi. She's only on second item, really much behind. On to the other hand, Hylos also going for a full-on defense. Look at that. He already has all the recipes he needs. So he is basically covering all the spots that he needs. On to the other hand, there is Malefic Roar into the hands of Granger. So does have the penetration. Oh, insane.
Oh,
Barely was able to escape from it, but still 15-2 score, 10k goal lead, no, 11k goal lead onto Tartarus. They're making a statement that this game is a full-on domination one, and definitely Array left an impact on Tartarus, that's to be said, because they picked up the Badang and they're basically repeating what he did. Is it Array impact or is it Badang impact? Because I feel like they're gonna be
I
picking
think it's
Badang more
Badang
often from
impact.
now. Yeah, they're gonna pick up Badang from now.
You know what? If they had Badang, if DNS had Badang, Insane would be slaying right now. Anyways, meanwhile, the Feather Airstrike comes in, going in for more, and Array was struggling to escape with the AOG right in the face. Meanwhile, Korigiri trying and defending so hard, shut down. Finally has been taken a double kill, but the Godlike followed up just the right way. Joseph comes in, and look at the shutdown. Joseph's gone down, and they have managed to defend this time. I
Who
was
shut
saying,
down?
exactly.
That was kind of big because right now the goal lead was 11k, but right now it has dropped to 7k. They actually recouped a lot of it. That is really impressive work, but I feel like that was kind of planned. They were kind of prepared because look at that. Into the mid lane, there are no inhibitors. The next slot gonna march straight into the base, and that's what Team Tartarus is gonna look for. And I think maybe they will do that, try to end it as far as possible. But they can also do the same thing again. Repeat it for both the inhibitors so the base is completely laid out, naked, and exposed. And when that happens, Team DNS, they have to bite the bullet. They have to play extremely passively because they cannot risk the same thing again. They will have to protect their base and be aware of any backdoor that could come in from Kyle. And because of that, I think that's what they're gonna do, most probably. But oh, into the top lane. Insane. He's the main priority target.
Oh! Wait, hold on! 27! That was mispredicted! He thought Insane was right there and he used the fist crack. Insane dodged it, ran away. I am gonna clip this, Ray. Did you see that?
Yeah, I mean that kind of beats the map hack allegation, so that was kind of nice. I mean, not that they had any, but if you ever had any doubts, you can clearly see nobody's gonna make that mistake if they had the hacks. Okay, but yeah, jokes aside, that was funny to see. But still, the game is an intense one because it's gonna be progressing towards the 15 minutes soon. Lord is already up. The late game is only X marks the spot who has gotten 2 shut down. So he is basically the one with the most farm, but not enough farm compared to Kyle or Joseph. So they're still kind of behind. Insane, really trying to push in into a top lane because that's the far lane. But the Lord is probably gonna get taken. Oh, he's so far actually avoided detection. That is kind of impressive. But still, I think that
Yeah,
Lord's gonna
that's
get
what he's
taken down.
doing. That's what he's doing since the
Yeah.
last few minutes. I mean, I feel bad for him. I feel like if only they played a little bit smarter and they get to the Padang in their team, he would have been doing better so far. Because like we said, the Padang impact is getting heavier on him. And meanwhile, could be a blood, and there you go, mega kill. They have Korigiri down. They're going for Are. Are doesn't have the AO. She's gonna go down as well. And look at that, the mages with the Pookie's been done. It's just one man standing. It just X marks the spot, and this could be it, Ray.
Yeah, this could definitely be because only X marks the spot is the only one left behind. And Tartarus looks like they're still got. Oh, Joseph, that is a little bit too aggressive, isn't it? But yeah,
No,
he's gonna go back. Ooh, Kyle!
they know what they're doing, and look at the damage. The first down. He just disappeared in the base, and the crystal has been taken down. Tartarus stays undefeated in the Northeast Underdogs Tournament so far.
And Team Tartarus, they just prove themselves again, don't they? They prove themselves again. Why they're considered the tyrants? I call them the Infinity Gauntlet because they basically have the real. They have all the stones. They turned the reality around. They got Barang this time on their team. Didn't really give Array any chance to do anything much. It was really sad to see Insane was not able to do so, but that's basically the impact the Barang had into the first game. And I think that's the whole reason why. I mean, not to take it away from Korigiri, who also made that play, right? Because he was the one who was able to take that triple kill. But overall, I think not getting the Barang, just like you said, kind of really impacted Insane's mobility into the game. They were forced into a corner, needed to play the back end too much, and they were not able to do so. I think they needed a little bit of a change of their draft. I think they played a little bit too much rotating around Luo Wei, which I understand. Luo Wei into the second game really made that impact, but you can't really be taking the impact from Are either, who really was able to make so many plays against Joseph onto that Fanny. So I think it was just a slight few mistakes into the draft that led to the last downfall for Team Dads and Sons. But still, they are still one of the strongest teams because forcing Tartarus into game number 3, it's not an easy feat. Tartarus most of the time just does 2-0 clean sweep. And that's what most people were probably thinking, that Team Dads and Sons, they're going to get clean sweep. So they also made a statement that they can force a game number 3. And I don't think Tartarus was holding back at all. They were playing the top game as well. So it was an impressive feat from both ends. But anyways, Tartarus going to be going straight into the semifinal brackets. And Team Dads and Sons, they will be pushed to the lower brackets of the playoffs where they will have to face the other loser of the next match. But you know, they have done great, and then low key I'm rooting for them because they have shown that they do have that power. Is definitely.
I really hope and wish that Tartarus carries this on, and they won't just
Definitely, yeah.
be, not just the best in Northeast, but India and hopefully international one day. I really enjoyed this match, and
Definitely, yeah.
I'm gonna reclip. Like there are so many moments, especially funny ones, like the one where
27,
27
yeah.
thought that Fanny was there, Insane was there, but he wasn't. He just spanned, and you give the best follow up. You get the best follow up comment. And if you guys are suspecting of anything like map hack, this is the proof. They don't have it. They don't have it, right? Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah, it was a fun match, right? It was definitely an exciting game. It was, I would say, especially the first game was very toe to toe until the last moment where Tartarus made that slight mistake and gave the win. Onto the second game, though, Tartarus, it was also more into the hands of Tartarus, but it was getting extended. They were able
Mhm.
to defend, I think, 2 or maybe close to 3 lords. So that is also that's why Dads and Sons, they're no way a weak team. They're going against the Tyrants, and that just makes a statement. So it's really impressive they were able to do that. But at the end, Team DNS, they were kind of outdrafted into the last match. I feel like the Badang was absolutely necessary, just like you
Mhm.
said. Giving it away was kind of bad. And overall, congrats to Tartarus for making it to the semifinals for the North East Underdogs Tournament. It's still the top dogs, by the way, the top dogs fighting against each other, and the finalists will be facing the finalists from the underdogs, and that's how the format is. But ladies and gentlemen, I think the match was definitely exciting. It was great, but we're gonna take a short break, and we're gonna be waiting for teams Zohunt and Peak to plummet. All these two teams also improving so much from previously. So Jenny, are you not excited for that match as well? Because let me tell you, Peak to Plummet and Zohan, they have improved immensely from the last time we saw
Hey,
them. Yeah, they
definitely,
have.
definitely. I am very excited to watch. I mean, yeah, I we won't be casting, probably not in the next match, but definitely gonna watch how they play,
We'll
how
be the
they're
audience
growing
this
up.
time.
Yeah, we'll be the audience. We'll be in the chat, and we'll have fun. We'll have popcorns.
Yeah, definitely. And one more highlight to mention is that Zohant was actually the first team to defeat Tartarus. Like, they
Oh,
haven't lost any, right? They haven't lost, but they were the first team to defeat Tartarus and like 2-1 basically, forced a 2-1. So yeah, Zohant has that in their name. So they're definitely a very strong team to go against. And Peak to Plummet, they were the ones who were at the top of the leaderboard. Just like the name mentions, they were at their peak. They had 0 losses as well, but then they faced Tartarus. They lost that game. So both of these teams are basically still one of the strongest, if not, and that's the whole reason they're at the playoffs. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you think this match was exciting, do wait for the next one. Stay tuned because we're going to be back for Peak to Plummet versus Zohunt as well. It was me, Ray, and Jenny onto the casting desk. We'll see you guys next time, but do stay tuned. The next match is going to be starting soon.
Hello players, are you from Northeast? If yes, we have a very exciting news for you.
Wardroom Games is hosting the North East Underdog Tournament where the top invited teams are going to be playing against the biggest underdogs. And the best part,
Guys, it's a tournament format. Why? Because it's starting in a separate bracket and you get to fight with only the underdogs all the way to the finals.
by participating in this tournament, you have the chance to win a share of the prize pool, which is 60,000 Indian rupees. So what are you waiting for, guys? Go and register ASAP because the slots are filling up really fast and you're gonna run out of slot if you don't register ASAP.
For registration, you can check the link in the description
Of the Instagram bio of Wardroom Games. So do follow them and yeah, see you in the tournament and I will be casting too.
Alpha, my dear doomed king. The time has come to cast away that frail mortal shell. Join me in eternity.
A giant tail above the waves. Is it a sea monster?
Do you like fairy tales? Who deserves to live happily ever after? Be good, and you will have a loving home. Be kind, and you will be shown kindness. Be gracious, and you will find true love.
It's all your fault!
I was just having some fun.
Your mother died because of you!
What a bunch of drivel. Break those chains! Embrace your rightful power! I really love a good fairy tale. Who will be the lead of our next story?
Hello players, are you from Northeast? If yes, we have a very exciting news for you.
Wardrum Games is hosting the North East Underdog Tournament, where the top invited teams are going to be playing against the biggest underdogs. And the best part,
Guys, it's a tournament format. Why? Because it's starting in a separate bracket and you get to fight with only the underdogs all the way to the finals.
by participating in this tournament, you have the chance to win a share of the prize pool, which is 60,000 Indian rupees. So what are you waiting for, guys? Go and register ASAP because the slots are filling up really fast and you're gonna run out of slot if you don't register ASAP.
For registration, you can check the link in the description
of the Instagram bio of Wardrum Games. So do follow them and yeah, see you in the tournament and I will be casting too.
time has come to cast away that frail mortal shell. Join me in eternity.
A giant tail above the waves. Is it a sea monster?
Do you like fairy tales? Who deserves to live happily ever after? Be good, and you will have a loving home. Be kind, and you will be shown kindness. Be gracious, and you will find true love.
It's all your fault!
I want my I was just having some fun.
Your mother died because of you!
What a bunch of drivel. Break those chains! Embrace your rightful power! I really love a good fairy tale. Who will be the lead of our next story?
Hello players, are you from Northeast? If yes, we have a very exciting news for you.
Wardrum Games is hosting the North East Underdog Tournament, where the top invited teams are going to be playing against the biggest underdogs. And the best part,
Guys, it's a tournament format. Why? Because it's starting in a separate bracket and you get to fight with only the underdogs all the way to the finals.
by participating in this tournament, you have the chance to win a share of the prize pool, which is 60,000 Indian rupees. So what are you waiting for, guys? Go and register ASAP because the slots are filling up really fast and you're gonna run out of slot if you don't register ASAP.
For registration, you can check the link in the description
Of the Instagram bio of Wardrum Games. So do follow them and yeah, see you in the tournament and I will be casting too.
Alpha, my dear doomed king. The time has come to cast away that frail mortal shell. Join me in eternity.
Time's a wasting. We are glazing. But for sure, the Wardrum Games North East Underdog Tournament, the playoffs is up. Yesterday, we finished our what do we call it? What do you call it once? Our round robin stage, which was very fun. We got to see a lot of people. We got to see some IGN, and unfortunately not making it this time into the playoff stages. But now, just before this game, previous match, Tartarus and DNS. What a game. We actually see DNS winning once, but actually Tartarus are just proving themselves to be the GOAT, the absolute GOAT in this Underdogs tournament. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is going to be game 2 against Peak to Plummet and Zohunt. And we're not going to be narrating this alone because we're going to be with the one and only Mr. Analyst Wants. How's it going, man? How's it going? You're looking good today, man.
Yeah, I'm just fine, I got a little caught up in the weather. But then again, here I am still, out here with you, really excited for tonight's game because I was, in the stream throughout the entire thing when it began with DNS and Tartarus. It was really exciting to watch these people play off, And Tartarus, they just obliterated DNS. So now we have here on game 2, we have Zohunt and Peak to Plummet. And man, I just want to mention that these two teams are facing off against each other one more time. Will Peak to Plummet, take the revenge against Zohunt? Because Zohunt was the team that broke Peak to Plummet's win streak. So they are facing once again, with each other. So this time, will Peak to Plummet look for blood against Zohunt? That is what I'm wondering tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Once, don't forget, after Zohunt ended Peak to Plummet streak, they were going down the hill a bit. I'm pretty sure Tartarus also clean swept them right before.
Yep.
And with that being said, it's just a matter of fact that Peak needs to come back with their momentum. Maybe this time, like you said, revenge could have been a sweet thing right now. But don't forget, this is the playoff. I mean, I'm still feeling there will be a game 3, ladies and gentlemen, because after whoever loses DNS is going to be versus again whoever loses here. So there's still hope for them, but then again, they don't want to be sticking around for too long because basically this could be straight elimination. So with that being said, let's get to the drafting ones and look at that. Look at the side of Peak. They're going for the Dusty Missile bands once again oriented on their side. We got the Alpha,
Wow.
we got the Lucas, and the Phobias, mainly for, I'm pretty sure, like Win, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the side of Zohunt, we have Ray's wife, we got Hayabusa at the same
Yeah.
time, also Dusty, because Zohunt, they're, basically looking out for, I'm pretty sure, Yaipaba here.
Yeah, they are, looking up for Yaipaba, because Yaipaba has shown, his assassins, and he does play that Fanny as well. So here Zohan are actually looking for Yaipaba, but then again, even Peak to Plummet are responding with bans, against Dusty Mizo. They're targeting his main heroes, the Alpha and the Lucas as well. And oh boy, look at that. Dusty, Zohan, they're already coming up with such a strong pick. They're coming off with the Harrod pick. We have seen, in the previous game against DNS and Tartarus as well, how Kyle was actually obliterating DNS when it reached, to those late phases of the game. He was single-handedly, killing every member of DNS, but then again, he got, taken down, he got pinned down, so that was what led to the loss of Tartarus in the first game. But then again, here we are in the second game, so we're just gonna be focusing on this more. And here we see Peak coming off with a really solid draft as well.
Yeah.
They have the Matilda, which is a really good utility support. They have the Guiding Wind, have the Circling Eagle, and oh boy, Peak, they are going for that grandeur on Skyzen. It seems like Zohan are overlooking the fact that Skyzen does exceptionally good on that grandeur. So they are not respecting his grandeur, but they're just giving it away to Skyzen here. So that's gonna be one minus point, I'd say, from the side of Zohan. They could have actually taken out that grandeur. But then again, look at, Bolty. Oh my god.
That is quite interesting. We actually see a high loss on the side of Zohan this time. It's like Zohan's draft being oriented as like I'm pretty sure early game they got the Suyu to kind of clear away the jungle waves. At the same time, they have that late game potential that is going to be a Harriet. Is definitely only the Holy Crystal Power Spike. That's going to be one hell of a match. And we're talking about Prime here. Actually, his main hero, his signature is the Harriet. So definitely giving them the Harriet is going to be so much trouble on the side of Peak. But then again, we also got Skyzen, the first guy, the youngest player around here to get the first Savage in this Underdog tournament on his hands on the Granger again. And that Savage was with a Granger, folks. And also this time, look at this. Like it was like basically DNS draft before, like the previous match with Tartarus. They actually have those, late game, basically, Sun Jin Woo characters, I like to call it, because they are basically going to infinitely stack, right? The more potential they're going to grow, the longer the game or the series goes. So basically, Granger, that's going to be a Sicilian as well. And at the same time, to top it off with their, their healing, their shield, and what is that? The mobility as well to save it with the Guiding Wind, topping off with a Matilda. Looking good on the side of both sides, but then again, this high loss, I feel like, is gonna have a little bit hard time catching up with these very high mobility heroes on the side of Peak. But then again, the Glorious Pad being used to initiate, to get, to close the gaps. So on the side of Zohan this time, they do be banning out those heroes, but this time they're focusing on the Gatot Kacha. So two tanky frontliners on the side of Zohan wants. What are they cooking up?
Well, they have a really, tanky lineup so far. They have the Suya as well, which is a tanky fighter, I'd say. And it seems like for now, Zohan, what they're looking for, they are looking, for Prime. They're looking, for that space that they need to create for Prime to shine with his Chrono Dashes and the Zaman Force. So, they're picking these tanky frontline that can go in front, disrupt the enemy, and provide protection for Prime, while he, from the back, with the Zaman Force, dishes out the damage. So it seems like Zohan are prioritizing the early game as well. They have a lot of solid early game. They have the Katot, have the Hylas, as well as the Suya for the early kill pick-off. As for the late and mid phases, they have the Harrod. So it is looking pretty solid onto the side of Zohan. But then again, on the side of Peak, they have the stacking heroes, as you said, like the Sun Jinu. They keep leveling up. They are gonna keep stacking up, and they will gradually become stronger. So if Zohan, they drag the game into the late too much, it is going to be a problem for them as well, because the Sicilian and Grandeur, with their kiting and poking abilities, they can burst down these heroes in the late phases of the game, especially Sicilian with that Wishing Lantern and the Holy Crystal. When he combines these two, even the tankiest tanks can get melted, with just a single Baron pack and the Butterfly from the Wishing Lantern.
Absolutely once. But look at the side of Zohunt. They are picking a Selena. I mean, 4 magic damage on the side of Zohunt we're talking about. So,
yeah.
I mean, like, gives a little bit breather on the side of Peak to be, prioritizing with their builds on, like, maybe a Radiant, maybe an Athena. But looking at the side of Zohunt, they only have Dusty Mizo on the physical damage, so it's going to be a bit hard for him. Early game, he's definitely going to have the damage, but late game wise, that's where the Suyu kind of falls out, even with the physical damage. So it's going to be a bit hard for Zohunt to kind of drag this on the late game. So I think it's best if they kind of snowball it, but then again, they do have a little bit of a slower heroes on their side. I mean, Family Problem can definitely, it's going to be Faden on the Selena, of course. It's gonna have to hit the Abyssal Arrow a bit accurately if they actually want to snowball this. At the same time, on the side of Pig, they have the Eat It, which we all know Corey was actually bussing on the DNS team, actually getting the triple with that. And with that being said, talking a little bit too slow here, but we're definitely going to be entering the land of Dawn once again. It's going to be Pig on to the blue side this time, and Zohan, the Zofate, on the red side. With that being said, it's all about the clashing here.
Yeah, it's definitely all about the clashing, and we see that, Suyu, they're already reaching that level 3 power spike, so now he can possibly look for those engage. But then again, it seems like he's just going to be farming for now, gonna get that level 4 as well. And it seems like both junglers are just going to be farming, and they have reached that level 4 spike, so we might see a early game engage here. And it seems like on the side of Peak, they are looking for a gang, or possibly on the top side here on that Hylas. But then again, I'm not sure. Oh, look at the mid there. What is cooking? Oh,
mid definitely gonna be a poke, because we're talking about Faden gonna be spamming the Abyssal Arrows. So Savage Warrior is kind of like a slower hero, a glass cannon, so he needs to be careful and more aware about the Abyssal Arrows that's gonna be coming up. But we're actually seeing an EXP, what is this, Hylos at this time. Which, I mean, kind of go hand to hand with an Aizen, of course. That's going to be the Edith as well. But this time, Matilda Rome and the first turtle is definitely going to be up for the taking.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be up here. And both sides of the team, they are looking for that early game turtle, and they are... Oh my god, Bolty, look at that.
Oh no, already Aizen a little bit in trouble. It's a bit of a soul silver over here. But then again, Faden on the backside trying to burst down Savage Warrior, but Dusty Mizo will be the one to get the retribution. Golden carpet right there. AOG being locked in, but the Dusty will be the one to dust out the first blood on the side of Zohan as they get the kill on Savage Warrior right there. With that being said, one kill on the side of Zohan. This is gonna be more.
Wow, they not only got the the kill, they also got the turtle. So they have built up that lead against Peak here. So they are on the lead right off the bat, and it seems like they are looking for a possible gang against Kaizen here on the bot side. And it seems like for now it is just not going to be a gang, because Kaizen is playing it safe. So they are gonna be skirmishing around the map here and there. And the Sicilian and the Grandeur will be on their lane, gradually stacking those stacks. And yeah, it's gonna be just a safe play from both sides of the teams for now.
Absolutely once, but it's just gonna be the Lemonade giving the vision for now, and it's just the fact that Zohan, they got the first turtle, so it's a pretty good start for them. The only way they're gonna be picking up their pace with the momentum as well. But Aizen on the other hand, both of the EXP laners are actually clearing out, like
look at
basically
the top.
spotted, but here comes the top as well. Glorious spot being used to kind of get out the Aizen to slow him down. And the 4 people dropping down onto the side of Pig's Aizen. They will take him out. But then again, they are wasting resources onto the EXP taken. But then again, the turtle is not going to be just coming up. So it's just a matter of fact that Pete will have more resources coming in with the Ipaba fracture. But it's not going to be enough because Family Problem and Faden both have, sustained at the same time the dash for Faden. So they're going to be leaving this out for now.
Wow, talking about the Nolan, on Yefava, I don't feel like he can do much here with his fraction and his skills, because on the side of Zohan we see that they have a very tanky lineup. Not only that, even the goal lane is very. But then again, look at the turtle fight here.
Coming a bit. Who's gonna get the turtle though? It's gonna be Ipaba picking up this time on the side of Peak. More is going to be coming as Zaman 4 has been dropped as well. Golden Carpet onto the waist as Prime gets the kill on the Ipaba as well. Look at the Zofate just coming in for the kills as well. The double kill will be picked out by Prime, and they want to get for more. Will they dive it, or is it going to be the red steel on the side of Zohan once again? 0-4, folks, and a little bit of a 2k gold lead for Lemonade not being able to do much onto the red ball.
Wow, this is the early game snowball, that Zohan needs. They know that they have the early game potential and they are going all out. And, they're taking full advantage of that early game advantage that they have. So now they are totally, controlling the map. But then again, look at the ball side here.
Once again, Family Problem got to go in for more of the Unbreakable. Faden misses the Abyssal Arrow, so there won't be any more. But that is a trade. That is one turret falling to the hands of Zohan. So that's going to give them a lot of gold to capitalize on their mate items, which is basically going to give more and more chance for Zohan to keep up with the snowball and at the same time keep up with the lead and to the turret's lead. But the Ipaba here though, he's trying to go in for more, but doesn't actually find Faden. Instead getting caught a little bit of that Unbreakable, but he escapes. So that is a good sign for Peak to be living for another day. And with that being said, it's just going to be another turtle skirmish in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, the turtle is spawning in about 30 seconds, as Baldy mentioned. So the both teams, are just gonna be looking for that turtle for now. They're not gonna commit to any kind of a fight, because if they do, it can be a big loss, especially from the side of Peak, because they are on the disadvantageous side. So they need to play safe.
Bob as well. AOG backside misses Skyzen in the process, and look at that spinning Lemonade. Gonna be tagging 3 people on the side of Zohan onto the top side. Zaman 4 is being used to take out the tier 1 by Prime as well, but that is just what they need. That turret is just what Zohan needs to kind of slowly take the battlefield onto their favor. And with that being said, the turtle is also spawning, but Yaipaba is also in position to kind of burst down a 1v1 over here. There goes the fracture as well, but at the same time, the sleep is he busted us with the fracture, and there we go. This is what Zohan needs to get that turtle right here.
Yeah, they definitely, need to get the turtle. But then again, on the side of Zohan, we have, the Gatot as well as the Hylas. So it is going to be a tough contest against these 2 tanky heroes, especially with that Harrod present as well. And, Selena on the Faden with his annoying Abyssal Arrow and Abyssal Stab, providing that poke, that burst, that vision. It is just way too annoying. It seems like for now, Peak, they can't even think about contesting.
Just gonna be like, they are gonna be contesting, of course, but the AOG gonna be dropped by Family Problem. At the same time, the Golden Carpet, the Zaman 4s, and Dustin picks up that turtle straight away, and they want to go for the kills. And absolutely, they will pick up Aizen in the process as well. But Faden going in with those dashes, almost taking out the youngest player, Skyzen here, but Skyzen knows how to kind of kite it out. With that being said, Yaipaba trying to camp it out for bursting down somebody. That's not going to be working on the side of Favor onto the Peak, because the Pistolero just hitting on the side, and then Lemonade also is just a Matilda. Then again, never mind, it's just going to be Zaman Force popped again. There's going to be the Prime, not going for more because the tier 1 is going to be the one stopping him. And then again, missing Abyssal Arrows, that's going to be coming again. With that being said, both of the teams are going to be discharging, but 1 kill on the side of Peak this time.
Yeah. Peak, they really need to step up their game as of now. They need to hold their ground, because they are falling off in the early and mid phases of the game here. So they have to look, for that late game. In order to get to that late game, they need to play it really safe, because if they, keep on looking for fights. They keep looking for engage, but then again, look at the. Oh my god.
Oh, Bacillero stocking into Lemonair, but at the same time, solo kill coming in for the bot side on the junglers. It's gotta be, never mind. It's just gonna be Dusty getting the kill this time. On the other hand, Lemonair also falls there while we're not actually seeing the action or the crime scene. So that is basically 2 deaths on the side of Peak to Plummet once again. So Zohan are actually in a comfortable position to kind of invade the jungle at the same time, because the tier 1s are all falling a little bit more on the side, but it seems like Aizen coming in with German suplex once again. Prime taking out the tier 1 once again. So on the side of Zohan, 3 tier 1s being taken on their side. They're just going straight for the objective.
Wow, they are, so locked onto the objective. They have taken down 3 turrets from the side of Peak. Peak, on the other hand, responding with only 1 turret push. So it's looking pretty solid for the side of Zohan. Take a look at the goal. It's it's basically like what, a 3.8k goal lead. And on the items though, we see that, wow, look at that. Oh my god, Dusty
Oh, here's gonna
Mizo.
drop as well. But Dusty Mizo gonna continue with the Lord farming. But then again, it seems like P won't be contesting this time because they know they're a bit way behind. Losing one team, Zohan is basically gonna make that up for that loss. And with that being said, the tier 1 being falling to the hands of P this time. And the Aipaba doing quite a wonderful job as a jungler to kind of clear out, sneakily on the other side of the Zohan lane. So Zohan also needs to be, actually Peak, they're making use of their utility, like their mobility, right? Because they have 2 tanky ones on the side of Zohan. They won't be catching up actually with the rotation as well. Oh, somebody biting the dust. But then they're saying at the same time, it's just going to be Savage War and popping in the Purify. So there won't be engagement on the side of Zohan.
Yeah, one thing I want to point out is that Dusty Mizo, he is already level 15. He has like what, almost 4 items. Has the BOD, has the War Axe, has the
Savage Warrior getting caught in the Bacillero to send that AOG. That is the green light for Prime to come in, take him out. In the process, tier 2 is gonna fall to the side of Zohan with that. It's just Prime. He has taken all the turrets by himself. Not exactly all. The Hurrit is just taking the turrets, and the Dusty Mizo will be the one to take out Aizen once again. And 2 fall in the side of Peak again. And that Luminous on the top, that's going to be dashing here, wasting the Holy Blessing of the turrets. Then again, it's just Prime here, just taking all the turret damage. It could be basically a 100% at this point. Well, never mind, it's going to be Zaman Force being popped as well. The inhibitor is going to be onto the taking the side of Zohan once again. And look at Savage Warrior this time taking a retaliation onto his family problem as he falls to the Sanguine Claws. At the same time, more stacks towards the side of Peak to Plummet. They didn't lose that inhibitor, so they can keep up with the momentum still.
Wow. Zohan are actually, dominating this game really well against Peak. They are, totally on the domination here, and they are obliterating Peak. And Peak, on the other hand, they just can't retaliate as of now, because if you take a look at the stacks on Grandeur, it's pretty low for a 12-minute Grandeur. He has like almost 400 stacks. He needs to build up those stacks way faster. And if we take a look at Sicilian, we got to take a look at his stacks as well, because the damage he's dealing, Savage Warrior, it is just not enough. He has like what, 158 stacks. That is pretty low, I'd say, for a 12-minute Sicilian. He needs to have at least 250 by now. So they are on the disadvantageous side. The scales are totally on the side of Zohan. So as of now, they need to hold their ground. They need to take a breather, not look for any possible fight against Zohan, because Zohan will obliterate them. They have the goal lead, have the advantage, have the damage, they have everything they need. And oh my god, look at the top there.
Locking into Laminaire, but not so much going to be happening just yet, Juan. So basically, that's a resource spent on the side of Zohunt. They're going to be waiting out for this another Lord, and it's going to be another clash that's going to be so good over here. Maybe a clippable moments. Definitely going to be coming here, or is it just going to be a pure steal on the side of Peak, or just Zohan taking it all for themselves once again?
As of now, it seems like Zohan will be the one, taking this Lord one more time on their side. And look at the zoning coming off from these 2 bodyguards. They're always on the front, always providing that vision and zoning. It is just way too hard for them, for Peak to even make any kind of initiation with these 2 tanks on the faces.
Absolutely. Once it seems like Pig are just looking for the. Oh, somebody's eating a bit of Abyssal Arrow. Might almost eat it once again, but the Guiding Winds will be the one to save him. And like I'd be saying, Pig is just looking for that late game advantage, right? They do have
Yeah.
the Sun Jinwoo characters on their side, so they're absolutely like not even contesting for anything, even though they're on like very way behind on the gold. But they're
Mm.
just betting all their, their souls basically
Yeah.
onto their late game like the Skyzen at the same time Savage Warrior, because these two
Mm.
will be the one to pop off, especially in a Lord defense as well. So during
Yeah.
the Lord defense, they could basically like Team Zohan control and basically give it to
Hmm.
Peak.
Yeah. I mean, talking about the Lord, if the Lord is initiating Zohan, they have to be careful of not overextending.
Oh,
Oh my god.
and again,
Oh.
Aizen here. Oh, AOG being popped as well, but the Purify being popped by what Savage Warrior. It's gonna be another defense here, but that inhibitor is still staying healthy though. That is actually quite a defense coming in the side of Peak, because they know how Zohan's gonna be playing this one. But it seems like there might be more fight here because that inhibitor finally
Oh.
falls, and there goes the Prime with the dashing, and he takes him out. That is Aizen. Somebody
Oh.
is eating a bit of an Abyssal Arrow, but they're not. Zohan is not in position to get
Damn.
another kill. Then again, look at EXP down the side of Peak, and the inhibitor down the side of Peak again. This could be like an opening for Zohan to kind of cleave to the side of Peak.
Yeah. Man, the thing from, about Faden on that Selena is like, he is not a. Oh, look at that. Oh.
Faden though! The damage coming in from the grapsing of the Selena, man. So yeah,
Man,
Papa would be the one to grow, but actually it's gonna be the other way around here.
I was just gonna talk on Faden, I was gonna say that Faden, he is not a pick off Selena, he's like a support Selena, and just
Yeah.
when I was about to say that, he comes up with a kill. That is like pretty ironic, and the coincidence there. So yeah, oh, look at this.
Oh, another one. And another carpet, another jump that's going to be
Oh.
dropping down here. But it's definitely going to be the one that is Lemonade falling to the hands once again.
Oh.
Yaipama is still in cooldown, but this team is all will be the one to get the double kill here. And with that being said, Prime did fall there though. Then again, I mean, they can still come back. Zohan can still come back from that loss because they're way too ahead. 9k gold still up in the front. And looking at the stacks of Sicilian this time once, you do the honor.
Yeah, he has like what, 220 stacks, let's say, almost. And the items, though, he has the Wishing Lantern, has the Glowing Wand, but then again, these two items are just not going to be enough to, deal the burst that he needs to do, because Zohan, they have the Gatot, have the Hylas, so tanky, and he is just not going to be able to dish out the damage just yet. So it is going to be a long game, if they really want to go for that stack potential. They have to hold up their ground here. But then again, look at that Abyssal Arrow. Oh my god.
That Abyssal Arrow is not. I mean, it's still good. Like you said, you think Faden was playing like a support role. He proves us wrong. So it's kind
Yeah.
of a bit, what will I say? Bit hard to make the assumptions once again. But Yaipaba this time is gonna buff it up. But is it gonna be Faden trying to hunt down a Yaipaba here? We never know, unless Yaipaba is trying to do a
Oh.
bit. But he's gonna be revealing himself here. Never mind. It's never mind. Gonna be Prime here going for the crunch. But never mind. Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Paul, but it's gonna be Ifaba, but no, Prime still gets the kill. With that being said, you can see how much Prime the damage. Can we get the item on the Prime actually? I'm pretty
Oh.
sure he might be on like. Oh, there we go. Full build already. No wonder
Wow.
why he was bursting that Yapaba straight away with just a combo, a 1-2 combo here once.
Wow, they are so fed at this point, and Zohan can actually look for an opening to end the game. And what they have to look out is just for the backline pokes that will come off from Skyzen and Savage Warrior. If they manage to pick one of these heroes, it is going to be a very easy, push for them to end the game. So they have to look for either one of them and go for the possible push, because the amount of damage that Zohan have on the table right now on their side, it is going to be so overwhelming for Peak to even sustain that damage, because they don't have the defense items on them fully just yet. They have like nearly 4 to 3 items, so that is not going to be enough for Peak to sustain the damage that Prime will be dealing on that Hadrid, as well as the other members from their side that will dish out the damage and poking from the back. So it seems like for now, Peak are just gonna hold their ground. They're just gonna be looking for those stacks that they need to stack, and it seems like Sky is just gonna be farming on that orange buff. And on the other hand, look at those two members. So
Okay. Never mind once. It's just gonna be. I mean, Skyzen did farm it out quick, so he was, he was rewarded
mhm.
with a sweet red juicy buff right there. But look at this big boy enhanced lord that's dropping down to the mid side because Aizen will be the one to kind of face him off. But then again,
Mhm.
he's very vulnerable because they don't really have that, vision being clear on the side of Zohan here. But it's gonna be that lord taking, or is it just gonna be somebody that is peak gonna be
Oh,
falling? There's all the inhibitors here. But the drop is gonna be upping up, and Prime is
oh,
just gonna be
Prime!
locking into the base. And there we
Wow,
go. Another win on the side of the Zofates. And with that being said, I mean, it's just gonna be. The score is a bit wrong, but anyways, Zohan taking the first pick on their side once, and that is it gonna be a deja vu all over again? Is Peak gonna throw this again, or is just gonna be a broom on the side of Zohan once again?
man! Looking at the way Zohan is playing, it is looking like it could possibly be like a dustpan and a broom situation once again, because that is what we saw last time against Zohan and Peak. And Zohan, they just totally swept, the floor. They swept Peak. So it might be a sweep once again, because Zohan are looking really solid as of now against Peak. It seems like they have, found those weakness against Peak, and they are, filling those gaps of those weakness and making use of those weakness that they know that Peak have. So, they're just facing off uh, a really hard draft against Zohan Peak, though. And talking about Peak, their composition, like as we've seen their draft, they were leaning too much on the late phases of the game. They were looking for the stacks on the Sicilian, on the Grandeur with the Capriccio. And they totally neglected the early game, I'd say, because the Nolan, nah, man, he can't pick up a Harrod. Harrod has
Yeah.
he is just way too mobile for the Nolan to be, to be picked off. And Selena as well. Selena is an like assassin. Her main role is an assassin to, to catch her. It's gonna be tricky because she has that movement speed when she transforms, has the garrote for the dash as well, so she can go in and out as well. And the other members of Zohan, they have like really tanky lineup as well. They have the Suyo, they have the Hylas, the Gatot. So it is just impossible for a Nolan to dish out damage on these heroes. So these are like the key factors, I'd say, that led to the first loss of Peak. They have to make a balance between early and late phases of the game, because that's what we see Zohan they did, right, Bolti? They
Yep.
had it for the late game, had three great fighters for the early phases of the game. And they made quite a great snowball right off the bat, and they kept the momentum till the end of the game. So yeah, with that, I'm just gonna be giving it over to you for now.
Yes, absolutely. Once, thank you for that clean sight analysis as well. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is game one. Going to be leaning towards Zohan once again. But is this going to be a clean sweep for the Zofates, or is it going to be peaking, but not plummeting? That
Mhm.
kind of sounds a little bit weird. But anyhow, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen, I feel like we're going to be heading to the next draft, or we're going to continue the yapping
Yeah.
because we won the climax to reach its max. And at the same time, look at that. The transition is gonna be coming. Is it gonna be another draft? There we go. But this time, blue side is gonna be Zohan, and on the side of P is gonna be red. But what is Zohan gonna be cooking this time? Is it gonna be the Alice kind of Zohan draft that surprises everyone, or is it
Yeah.
just gonna be what? Just a normal band that we see on the side?
Well, there are a lot of metas in the game, so they are gonna have to focus on them as well. So it is gonna be pretty much a similar draft to what we've seen previously. So I feel like the draft is not gonna be that much altered when it comes to the banning phases as well. So when it all comes down to the picks that these teams are gonna pick, because that is what is the main factor. And that will ultimately lead to a climatic clash between these two teams, because that's what we saw. Peak, they kind of fell off in the early game as well as the mid game there. So yeah, look at the bans.
Look at the ban though. Zohunt are just focusing on to Yaipaba, but this time Dusty gets the signature. That's gonna be the fighter meta on the side of Zofate with Dusty Mizzo just going in for the Lucas first pick. But this side is gonna be a response. They're definitely gonna be a response to the side of Peak, because it could be another Valentina on the side of Peak, because I mean they have to put
possibly.
it. They need the shockwave blast, they need the flash combo, and Valentina utilizes the passive of the Lucas at the same time. That's perfectly, man. Every time you can, IMU Lucas, that's basically a free ultimate, a free beast of life on the side of Peak. That is turning up, but this time Prime is being denied of the Harriet. That is very much true, but Skyzen on the Harriet this time is going to be nice as well. But look at that, Aizen picking up his signature as well. That's going to be a Phobius on the side of Peak.
Wow, it is looking pretty solid on the side of Peak, despite giving away the Lucas. And oh my god, look at that. Are we gonna see another Baxia? Another Baxia pick coming up from the side of Zohan here. Wow, they are pulling up a Baxia EXP, I'd say. This is definitely a Baxia EXP. What do you think, Moby?
Yep, I mean, like, thinking about it, Baxia is a very tanky hero. Even though he's not in the meta, as an EXP, he could kind of work out. And the fact that his passive is like an extra dominance, that could be very good for Aizen, on the countering side, because Aizen sustain basically comes for the Infernal Pursuit. Even though he's not immune in the Infernal Pursuit, he can pretty much basically heal up from the spell vamp at the same time. So this is looking quite nice on the side of Zohunt to be picking up this one, but not for the late game. I actually don't know, because they will have the mobility to rotate faster, but then again, it only comes out. Look, whoa, look at that. Look at what Peak did. They're banning out the Rafaela because they don't want the support of the Rafaela. They know Zohan. Who is that? Family problem? You got a problem with the not Valentina, but Rafaela. So, yep, just picking it up.
Yeah, we have seen, Zohan pull out a lot of Rafaela picks. So they are aware that Zohan, they can come up with another Rafaela. And here we go, Peak responding with a Rafaela bans against Zohan. And that is pretty smart, I'd say, from the side of Peak, that they are banning with the Rafaela, because Rafaela is a solid support with that movement speed that she provides from the second skill. It is immune to slow effect as well. And talking about the backshot, he is so good against the Phobius, because the anti-heal effect that he has, it can stack with the dominance. So there's 50% from the dominance and 15% from his passive. So that is solid 75% anti-heal. That is going to be crazy, because the Phobius against a 75% anti-heal will not be able to sustain with that Infernal Pursuit, right?
Absolutely wants that. I mean, stacking up a dominance is already kind of broken as his own face, right?
Yeah.
But stacking up another dominance on top of that, that's gonna be just perfectly balanced, That's a way of just calling it absolutely broken. But look at that on the side of Peak, Yaipaba. No, it's not gonna be Yaipaba, but it's gonna be. I mean, is it gonna be a EXP Hylos this time, or is it gonna be a Rome Hylos?
I think it's definitely a Rome Hylos, because why would you even look for a Phobius Rome there? So it's kind of odd. So it is definitely gonna be a Phobius EXP here. And as of now, Peak, they've not shown their mid lane card. As of now, they're saving it for the late. Oh my god, here comes Zohan. They are coming with a similar strategy.
Okay,
they are pulling a similar strategy. They are coming up with those front lines, those bodyguards out there for these backliners that they have. They are looking for that protection that they need to provide for Faden on that Xavier, as well as for the Grandeur on Prime. So they are looking for those early game bodyguards. They have the Lucas with the Beast of Light Bomb. has a lot of defense in that form, really tanky, has the backshow as well. And oh boy, the Carmilla with the Curse of Blood is just a cherry on top. If it perfectly hits the side of peak, it can perfectly connects, it is gonna be a complete wipeout. And the amount of CC that they have is also undeniable from the side of Zohan there. But then again, look at peak. They are coming up with Yves, that crowd control mage as well. So they have the real world manipulation on their side. But it is going to be risky, to pull up real world manipulation because you are still on the battlefield. And, Dusty, he can just go right in for you with his Beast of Light form. So that is what you have to look out for.
Yeah, that's pretty much true. Once, yeah, I'm not really feeling the Yif right now because it might be a utility pick on the side of Peak. I mean, they're kind of lacking out on the damage department. Then again, that they're putting their bets on to the Suyu in the early and the same time, like what Zohan did before, and Prime
Yeah.
was actually popping off. So this time it's gonna be Skyzen on the Harriet. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna be the Land of Dawn clashing down. Is Zohan goes to the blue side and Peak is going to be on the red side this time. Is it just going to be a straight up dominance for the side of the Zoes, or is it going to be Peak not falling to their plummets? We'll see. We'll see. Just find out.
Yeah, well, one thing, about this, if Zohan they even pull off a clean sweep against Peak, Peak will have to face off against DNS in the next game because DNS they lost against Tartarus. So now they are, gonna be in the lower bracket, and once they are in the lower bracket, they will be facing off against DNS, and from there, it is gonna be like an elimination. I think so. Yeah.
Pretty much true. And then you don't want to be in like the elimination round for this, after losing this match. So family problem though, trying to prevent Yaipaba from stealing that, but Yaipaba popping in the retribution, still gonna be stealing it on the side of Peak. And there's the fight coming in the boss side as Aizen is very much eating the poisons of Dusty Mizo over here. But Dusty Mizo this time getting a kill on Aizen. It was actually Dusty Mizo in the jungle and not, Win actually onto this thing, the XP Baxia. So with that being said, it's still working on the side of Zohan. They were able to get a kill, and hopefully, there's a bit of a clashing of the gold lane on the top side here. But Prime though, he might. Look at the chrono dash to get the shield and survive is the Skyzen. That was almost Prime winning there. But it's just gonna be another Dusty Mizo coming in with the 1.5. Not quite yet because basically going to be an easy retribution on the side of Zohan because Yaipaba is still trying to farm. Like he comes in and seal it off, and there we go! There is the Suyu that we've been waiting for. But then again, Win comes in with the Shockwave Blast as well. Backside, holding carpet, being late to waste once again. But Yaipaba still want to get a bit of the family problem. Seems like he doesn't have enough problems. He don't want peace, he want problems.
Oh my god, they definitely are looking for problems. They do not want peace, and Zohan are actually coming up with that, early game lead that they are looking for, like they did in the previous game. They will need that early game snowball, and for the late game though, they do have, they have the grandeur on Prime, so Prime will be the one carrying the late game, as well as fade in with that Xavier. So they will be hitting like a truck. I feel like when it comes to the laning phases, especially in the late game, Xavier is much more reliable than a Sicilian because Sicilian is just way too stack dependent, and Xavier, on the other hand, he just needs to get his hand on those items. He needs like what? The enchanted wishing lantern and a holy crystal, and he is ready to, hit like a truck, and he will be melting down any one that comes in his face there. So yeah.
Absolutely. And with that being said, it's going to be one kill on the side of Zohan then again, but it seems like Skyzen is in a bit of a position to go and drop in the Zaman Forest. There might be actually some clash here, top on, but it's just going to be Prime there, having the, the Rondo to kind of escape and also checking the bushes with the Dead Sonata. That's the kit that the Granger has to check the bushes. So with that being said, Lemonade also is just in position to kind of stop, Prime from getting a bit too close to the Leon in here.
Yeah.
With that being said, That's the mid lane clear as well, but that's gonna be that initiation of the top side. There's still gonna be just the Yaipaba gonna be clearing the lane because Turtle's gonna be coming up. And it's only gonna be a matter of fact that they just have to go down. But
Oh, look at
Aizen
the
taking
bot.
2 dudes once again, but that's the dip out because we saw him taking 2 dudes right there. So with that being said, the Turtle fight will be continued in this angle.
Now it seems like Aizen, he's just not being able to, you know, take more than 2 or 3 guys there because he is just way too. Oh my God! Look at that! Oh, look at Win.
The might of the Unity coming in as Win takes the kill to Savage Warrior onto the side of the Zohunt.
Oh,
and look at the
no.
flash combo. Almost taking out Lemonair though, but Lemonair is a centaur. He could take a bit of the beating of the Lucas. So with that being said, it's going to be 2 kills on the side
Oh, look
of
at the
Zohunt
top.
with a turtle once again. But then again, might be a little bit of a 1.5 looking at the face of Yaipaba here. Oh, look at the zoning a little bit coming up, but Yaipaba had to force out that retribution once again to get the movement speed. But is it going to be the one to escape? Yes, indeed.
Wow.
With the Zaman Force using as a shield to slow them down. Team Zohunt could not find, the opportunity to take down Yaipaba.
Man, the Blade Surge, you know, on Suyu is just so good. He has that immunity dash, you know, with that Blade Surge. It is just crazy, you know, the amount of mobility the Suyu has. And how valid he has been even after the nerfs that he has received in like 2 patches or 2 or 3 patches ago. So yeah. And Aizen, on the other hand, it seems like he's really struggling in that bot side against a Baxia because, you know, he's just not being able to. Oh my God! Just look at that, man. Just look at Yefaba. The way he rotates with that Suyu, he's all over the map. Talk about the bot, talk about the mid, talk about, you know, any lane. He is always there for that ganking. Oh,
Look at that,
another.
Dusty. Trying to go win for more, but it's just, you cannot win against a Baxia, right? At this point, to just go 1v1, and it seems like Lemonair is in trouble. Oh, backside, Dawning Light being hit once again. Lemonair has to force out the ultimate, that is the glorious pad, for his safety. And just like that, it's going to be just the turtle going to be spawning, and again, Aizen will be in position to kind of, zone them out, but then again, Dusty Mizo just going to be starting for now. He's going to be looking for the retribution, but Yaipaba might be stealing it again. But no, Dusty this time still gets it covered with the back shot. Faden coming in. Sotaru. And he's going to be the one to get in kill on Yaipaba. And look at the backside. Savage Warrior RWM is kind of like an MVP placement over here because Team Zohunt are eating the chess. Savage Warrior, being the Grand Magnus he is, will once again stop the rampaging on the side of Zohunt.
Man, you know, Zohan are building that momentum that they need. They are like 3k goal ahead of Peak as of now. They have taken a lot of objectives as well. They have managed to take 1 turret from the bot lane as well as 1 from the mid side. So it's looking pretty solid for them. They are, you know, always on the balance. Oh, look at that invasion coming out from the side of Zohan. But then again, they just force it out directly from Yaifava. So he just secures that purple there. And boy, look at that. Faden, you know, just continuously spamming that Dawning Light all over the land of Dawn with that Gojo Satoru. He is just, you know, showing that he is the strongest. And bro, he is saying, nah, I'd win.
Yeah, not at win, but when that thing comes in, and especially in the manga, Satoru just becomes a Kit Kat at that point. So never mind.
You didn't have to mention that, Bolty.
Yeah, it's okay, guys. A little bit of a spoiler for you guys, but then again, don't care. Just gonna be looking straight into the ferocious battle in the land of Dawn here, guys. So we'll keep that anime on the side, but still, again, it's a collab skin, so we can definitely talk about it because it's a collab skin. MLBB 100% wants it on their screen. With that being said, just gonna be the taking of tier 2, pick the Plummet's tower onto the side of Zohan once again with the Capriccio stacks on the 336 demonic energy. Look at that. That is good for the side of what, 8 minutes, I'm pretty sure once.
Yeah, that is pretty solid, you know. Yeah. He has that good stacks on the 8-minute mark on the grandeur there. Prime is doing exceptionally good. He's oh my god, he has 3 items now and he will be hitting really hard with that.
Glorious Pat, another back shot coming in from Faden here, but just gonna be missing. And also Yaipaba almost falling though. Didn't eat a bit of the range coming in. Dusty Mizo takes the Lord, but there's gonna be a fight definitely. Skyzen taking a kill on Win, and then again Prime also taking Lemonair down, and Aizen just traded out with a family problem, but Prime, the youngest player, with a double right there. 2-2 trade in that clash, but still onto the favor on the side of Zohunt.
Wow, Zohan, they are just maintaining that absolute dominance. They are not letting Peak even have a breather. It seems like, this might be a possible clean sweep looking at the pace at which Zohan are playing right now. Because Peak, they're just gonna be relying on Skyzen alone, to reach that item power spike, and Yaifaba not being able, to make use much of that Suyo and his early game potential that he has. They did not, get that momentum in the early game to build that early game snowball. So now their only, asset here is Skyzen on that Harriet. So, it is going to be a lot of pressure on Skyzen. But then again, look at that skirmish here.
Oh, that's a perfect Curse of Blood. And connecting is Dusty Mizo getting a kill, and Prime trading out with Yaipaba once again. But never mind, not trading out, because two people on the side of Peak falling to the hands of the Zos once again. But Faden quite in the position to just be spamming that emote and saying Yawaimo onto the face of Peak. So tier 2 gonna be falling to the hands of Zohan once again, as Prime always picking up these turrets, so it's very nice. So there's the Holy Blessing on the mid inhibitor being spent, and also Prime still giving the Death Sonata onto the faces of Peak once again. But Death Steam Mizo being a little bit cheeky, using the 1.5 to kind of kite people out. That being said, it's gonna be a wait for another Lord Skirmish, or are they just gonna be ending it out?
Well, it seems like Zohan are playing it really patiently. They're not, going for excessive fights here. They're not making reckless decisions. They're just focusing on that push for now, and they're just gonna wait off for that Lord to spawn up, get that Lord, and look for a possible end. And Peak, on the other hand, they really need to come up with something really unique, because if not, then it is going to be really hard for them to look for any members from the side of Zohan, because at this point, oh my gosh, just look at, Dusty Mizo on that backshot. The amount of HP he has, he is looking so tanky. Oh my.
Oh, there comes the Curse of Blood, but this time Aizen falling to the hands of Prime, and also the Shockwave Blast being used to absolutely disintegrate Peak. But they're still a tanky one, so they won't be disintegrating once again. But that Lord is going to be up, and Dusty and Zohan is just ready for the taking. So this time I feel like Peak are going to be waiting this Lord out once again, kind of like begging or praying for a miracle play, so that, if Zohan make a mistake, that is going to be their opening to make a comeback.
Man, what? Kaizen on the Harriet. Wow.
Yo. That's Dusty with the 1.5. First Lemonair, but Lemonair have been forcing out the golden carpet, and also family problem trying to stir up a little bit of a problem towards Yaipaba. But then again, it's not gonna be enough just yet. But then again, what was you saying, man? What was you saying?
Yeah, Skyzen is not rushing for a Holy Crystal as a third item. He actually went in for that Divine Glaive for the penetration. But I feel like as of now, the only penetration that he needs to do is against a Dusty and a family problem. But then again, they are not his target. His target should be Faden and Prime. So, if he had went ahead and go with that extra magic power on that Holy Crystal, it would have been way much better. But then again, he's just doing what he needs to do. If he feels like he needs spend, then he needs it. And if he feels like he needs the extra magic there, oh my god, just look at the Lord. He is just...
Bot side. Oh, back shots coming in from Prime. That's a clapped Aizen in the process. And look at that. That's a double for the Prime with the energy drink. And also, Skyzen almost falling to that Lord indeed. But with the pulling of Lord just towards the inhibitor side, because it came down from the bot. But now it's on the mid. So that is actually a good pulling on the side of Peak to kind of stop the Lord from dealing way too much collateral damage. we're talking about more here because this inhibitor on the mid side, inside of Peak coming in, but here comes Skyzen trying to dash it off a little bit, but survives at the same time. Yaipaba taking a kill on Mr. Gojo Satoru here, and Win also biting the dust on that clash. But the two inhibitors down is definitely a W on the side of Zohunt still.
Well, they definitely needed to take out Faden because Faden was on a bounty. So they need that bounty on their side to get that goal. And talking about the goal, Zohan with a 43k goal and Peak on the other hand with nearly 36k goals. So they are quite behind as of now. If you take a look at Peak, they have nearly 3 items on Harrod as well as the Suyo, so they have a lot of
Curse of Blood, there we go. Dusty Mizo taking a kill on Skyzen. Prime lives to see another day, but the Faden, Mr. Faden, backside, he knows how to snipe all across the land of Dawn. And with that being said, he likes to do it with a bit of emoji, but look at him. He's just walking, hands on his pocket. Cool guy, don't you think, ladies and gentlemen? But look at that. Coming in with the Aizen with Infernal Pursuit, taking a Dark Wave on 2, trying to smash it off, but Prime takes him out instantly because he doesn't have the HP. But look at that, RW1 being spent again, using defensively, but Prime with a double. And with that being said, this could be the Dusty, what do you call it? The Duster that we need for Zohan to clean C once again, but Savage Warrior punishing Prime. I just a bit overextended a little bit there because that's why. And also, look at that. Dawning Light coming in towards Skyzen, but Skyzen will lift that Dawn.
Wow, that was a really good defense coming off from the side of Savage Warrior. He played that real world manipulation really well. He was totally focused on the minion clear. And with that, Peak will live to see another day. They will live to see another defense and another Lord as well. And look at Yaifava, positioning himself to maybe look for a possible Steel Lord, but then again, he did reveal himself using that Soul Sever there. So now they are aware of their positioning, and look at all the members from both sides of the teams. They are, trying to gather for the Lord here, and at this point, it seems like even Peak are ready, to clap back at Zohan. But then again, if they underestimate Zohan at this point, it's going to be a payback for them.
Oh, Dusty almost pulling up a Kyrie there, but no, he won't be doing that because it's way too much. As Curse Blood being pop as well, RW win. And look at Lemonade on the backside trying to do something, but Aizen taking a double for himself with Infernal Pursuit. 3 falling this time to the side of Zohan. Also Savage Warrior just trying to coming back to the clash, but no. 4 people falling down to the side of Zohan, as this is the peak entertainment that we've been waiting for, the absolute comeback on the side of Peak to Plummet. And they won to finally slowly chip down the mentality of Zohan. Actually, this is what I've been noticing Zohan. Zohan, when they drag the match too much, like they kind of lost off discipline, honestly. And that's what I've been trying to tell the audience every time, but it's a bit too much. I'm not that of a good of an analyst, so there we go.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what you said, because as they, go into the later phases of the game, they seem to lose patience. They seem to, lose that discipline that they need to maintain. And because of that, they always end up losing somehow, one way or the other. So that is what Zohan needs to work on. And look at that Peak. They managed to get a Lord, and that Lord will be marching down toward that top lane. And here on the bot side, all the members of Peak gathered here to look for that.
Twistin, Faden, Dawning Light been connecting as well. RW with Pop once again. And also Yaipapa taking Prime this time. This could be what Peak needs to kind of take them out. And look at that. Win finally falling. Savage Warrior trading it off. And with that being said, Aizen is dead. On the top side, we are seeing that Lord just smacking the absolute crap out of Zohan's tier 1. And as they are looking for the turret, Yaipaba trying to get in with the evil queller. The tier, not the tier, but the inhibitor in the mid side finally falling to the hands of Peak once again. As Skyzen going to be dashing out with the Leonin style. And there we go. This time we won't be seeing the Zophot there, but instead it's going to be Peak to Peak, but not to Plummet.
Wow. Man, I did not see that coming. Peak. You never fail to amaze me with your plays. Because, oh boy, how did you manage to pull up a game with, when you're so behind, when you're totally on the opposite scale, totally, thrown up by the other scale. You're like totally being pinned down from Zohan. And how did you manage to bounce back from that huge goal difference? And boy, Zohan, they just I'd say they kind of disintegrated, in the later phases of the clashes that happen in the late game, because they were not maintaining their positioning quite well. The front lines were just all over the map, and Zohan, they were sticking together like glue. And oh boy, the amount of damage that Skyzen was dealing on the Harriet is actually insane. He has like what, 23% damage. But then again, look at look at Savage Warrior, despite being a mage, dealing the most damage with that 30% damage on the Void Crystal, Void Blast, and
100%.
that real world manipulation. Man, even the team fight participation is just absolutely crazy. 100%. That is what a mage needs to do. Always stick with the team, always provide that slow, that crowd control, and that zoning that you need to do. And oh boy, man, this is going to be a long game, because this is going to be stretched to a best of 3. And man, just as I was saying previously, that if any one of these teams they lose tonight, they will be facing off against DNS in the next round.
Yep.
So they are aware of that they do not want to go into the lower bracket and face off against DNS. So Peak, keeping that in mind, they pulled up whatever they had up their sleeve, and now here we are. Peak winning the second game of the night, making it to a best of 3, and now it is going to be the deciding game. Who will be the one going down that lower bracket?
Absolutely, Juan. You just said it all to yourself. And absolutely, guys, that's just going to be the tiebreaker match this time. This is going to be coming up. No rest for the wicked, especially for the casters, because we like to roll. And this is what we have been waiting for our entire life, to just cast out good teams clashing on each other. That being said, once I feel like I'm a bit repetitive on that, but I'm sorry. My vocabulary is not that much. Okay, guys, come on, man. Just leave me alone. But anyways, it's going to be a deciding match now, because I'm feeling pretty sure our teams are going to be drafting right now until the screen flips. This time, who are you putting your bets on? Is it going to be the Zofates, or is it going to be the side of Peak?
Oh man, that is a really tough question.
It is. That's
because
why I asked
I'm like a fan of both teams. Like, despite Peak of Plummet being a new team, they have managed to pique my interest. The peak, not the peak, but the PIQUE, because yeah. So yeah, with that, because of Zohan, I've been familiar with them. I've casted a lot of tournaments where Zohan have played, and they, I'm like a follower as well, like a fan of them. So yeah, I feel like I am gonna be rooting for Zohan, for the Zofate. So for me personally, it is gonna be Zohan. I will be rooting for that. So you both, you can't go for Zohan, okay? I've picked them, so you have to root for Peak, because from each caster, at least one team, they need one supporter.
Sure. Okay, I'm gonna go with Peak this time, but don't cry if Zohan lose, okay, once? And with that being said, Peak gonna have the first pick on their side. They're going straight for the Dusty Mizzou, because they don't want to give the broom to Dusty, but definitely being picked out onto the side of Peak. Just for connection there. But it seems like Peak here, Savage Warrior, being but this is not about the player just focusing on to like what their signature picks. It's basically the hero itself, Ray's wife, the butterfly lady. Just too broken even with the nerf as well. Still can do a lot of maintaining, dictating onto the Land of Dawn as a mid laner. And as a mid laner, you are the pinnacle role. So with that being said, Hayabusa being aimed towards the side of Paba, yep. And at the same time, Peak also picking out the Harriet this time. So they don't want to give Prime the Harriet, because you know what happens when you give Prime the Harriet game number 1. That's what happens.
Yeah. Definitely what happens, and a lot of first pick ban, coming off from the side of Peak, they have picking out the Alpha for Dusty as well as the Harriet. And look at Peak, they are clapping back with a Lucas pick. They are coming up with that Luca. So now they will be looking for that Beast of Light, so they have to make use of that early game potential with that Lucas. And oh boy, man,
Oh.
where did Lucas, rise here in the nerd tournament? Because I did not see him, anywhere except the nerd tournament there, as well as a few tournaments there. But then again, yeah, with that, look at Zohan, man. They are coming off with that
Oh
comfort
my God.
picks. They have got the one and only grandeur on Prime, and now Prime, will be shining with that grandeur as well, because Prime, he is a good grandeur player as well. And look at that, look at that, man. They have a Phobius as well. So now, Peak, they have to be really decisive with their picks. They can't go for very high mobility heroes, because that is just gonna benefit the Phobius, right?
Yep, dashing as well, right? Even though it's high mobility, if you dash a little bit, even an inch, that is just gonna be the giving of Phobius his passive. So Peak, they're going for the high lows definitely to kind of like, maintain their front line strong and their initiation as well, but looking good on the side of Peak because they're picking the Louis on their side, and they're basically going to be transporting 2 tanky boys on their side, basically a truckload just teleporting onto your faces. That's just gonna hurt, right? So on the side of Zohan as well, they are basically just going for the assassin bands on their side, but this time, who do you think wants? You just gonna go with the Zohan draft because that's your team? Yeah, I'm gonna give that to you. Okay, let's do it.
Man, talking about the draft though, looking at the Louis Yi, I'm like getting flashback, in the back of my mind, because
Tartarus.
Game number 3, Tartarus with that diversion play. Oh my gosh, if something happens like that, right?
Absolute cinema, man.
Nah, man, nah. I'm just gonna go to see. I'm not even gonna say anything. If something happens, if Peak pull out that dirty move, I'm just gonna be out of the caster desk. I'm just like, screw this. I'm going to sleep.
Okay. A little bit too early for the sleep or what? Or are we not ending the tournament here once? But anyways, enough, bluffing talk here, guys. Gonna look back on the side of Peak, because once the first side is down, that is a good amount of range for the side of Zohan. But what do Peak need, I should say here? Because they're still going for the ban. They're taking out the Bakshia this time because they don't want Dusty Mizo on his Bakshia again. All orientated bans towards the side of Dusty Mizo, which is a very respectable ban. But if we're gonna be picking out a chip and what is that? A Gatot? It seems like Peak, Zohan are trying to limit Peak's global presence basically. So picking out the chip as well, it could be quite troublesome because they still have that marksman to pick as well. But this time they're gonna be banning either Prime and Family Problem. Not Prime, but actually this is a bit hard to look under my side. So I'm pretty sure the ban could be like oriented towards let's see here, a bit of a roamer on the side of Zohan, because roamer are also the setters, right? So it's like never. Oh, okay, look at that. Still Dusty Mizo respect ban. That's an Alice right there, because Dusty Mizo haven't picked that jungler. So Peak is just not like giving them, but so definitely Dusty Mizo is gonna be picked with that Sui. Once again, he can play. Sui is basically an assassin / fighter, kind of like a jungler. So pretty much good inside of Zohan, but this time they want something that kind of burst out. It goes good against a Granger here. I mean, Granger, they have banned out the the Harriet on their side of Peak, but the options to go against a Granger needs kind of a range. So if I'm gonna be a Moskov is not gonna work here, because it's gonna be food for Farsa, right? Because that Feather Airstrike could just chunk you down. So it's quite risky for Peak actually, because they're gonna be picking both at the same time. But what is it gonna be? Oh, Irithel! We forgot about the Irithel. Yes, of course. Pick that up. And also top it off with the Jawhead for the initiation, like drawbacks with ejectors. So okay, we're solid. We're solid on our side. We're solid. What about you? What do your boys got?
You're looking pretty solid with that draft. Have a lot of CC. You have a lot of kiting ability as well. And boy, the surprise plays that will come up from that diversion play. I must say, I'm on the edge of my seat looking at the draft that Peak have pull off. But then again, I have faith in Zohan. You know, I have faith in Zohan because if we talk about the mid lane, we have the Farsa with the Feather airstrike. So, we'll be pew pew from the sky on that back line as well. So you have to look out for that as well, Multi.
Okay,
And
sure, man.
the, implosion with that flicker, it can be a bit of a setter as well. So, yeah, we're just gonna see who's gonna pull this off. So yeah, it is a clash between me and you as well.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about my team side because the diversion is gonna be up, but when you use diversion, you are prone to implosions, basically. So that's what I'm pretty much afraid of here. Other than that, I mean, the damage wise, output wise, we have the tanky frontliner, somebody to pick you off as well. So it all comes down to execution at this point. And ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be the deciding match of who's gonna be dropping down a match number 3, in after this game. So basically, we're in the land of Dawn like here. The view is looking good as we're already seeing our junglers taking their red and Peak on the blue and Zohan on the red. May the best team win this time.
Yeah, may the best team win. And with that, we're just going to see these teams here right into the land of Dawn. And oh boy, look at that skirmish on the mid side. A lot of pull going on. Seems like a lot of members from the Peak losing their HP to a Farsa with that 10% HP base damage on that passive. Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a steal. Definitely. Almost a steal. Like I pretty much predicted here. But never mind. It's going to be the little bean falling to the side of Zohan. That's a bit of vision to the side. But here comes the first Sacred Hammer being popped, but Family Problem also popped in the flicker as well. So, I mean, Family Problem is kind of prone to dying there. So, best bet was him flicking out, right, Watts?
Yeah, definitely. That was I'd say a okay kind of thing, to pull out the flicker because you do not want to get caught in that ejector. And once you get caught in that, it's going to be hard, to get out of that even with the flicker. So, going on the safer side and just pull up that early flicker is quite good. And, look at the top. Oh my God.
That could be a first blood. Skyzen in trouble. Popping the Revitalize. Not going to be enough as Dusty Mizo will be the one to take him out. But also, here comes the ejector for Dusty Mizo here, trying to find it out. But look at the Savage Warrior with the rotation. Takes him out. Faden also kind of tried it out with Yaipaba. And look at that. Just 1 to 2 trades on both sides over here. But look at the nuking coming in from Mr. Faden here. But that's going to be a trade to trade for both the mid laners. You know how it is. Both of them have range, even though Farsa do have the range. But here comes the bonking coming in. But it's going to be Lemonade here trying to sustain it out. Pops out the Family Problem to stop him from using the Sacred Hammer to kind of basically shut him down. So here comes Win with the monolith, the big purple monolith. And with that being said, look at Dusty taking out the turtle. And also Savage Warrior trying to, oh no, he's in out caught of the position of the explosion, and everything drops down onto the Yin My Yang mage of the Land of Dawn as Savage Warrior makes a blunder right there. 4 kills on the side of Zohan, 2 kills on the side of Peak. That's how we roll.
Wow, Zohan are pulling off that early game with that Suyo on their side. And boy, look at the top lane again. Once again, another small skirmish with the EXP, with that, spoke that they come up with. And it seems like as of now, there's going to be a possible gank on that bot lane, because if we look at the members of Peak, they are getting ready to look for blood of Prime. And look at Skyzen, he's just going all out in that turret, trying to bait out.
Mine once, I'm just making reactions. Chill there, man. Oh, here comes
look at the diversion.
Oh no, where is it gonna be? There are gonna be, keep quiet for now, because this could be the set that Peak needs to kind of take out Dusty Mizo again. But it's just everybody's basically camping. There's not much to say. What about you, Wans? Do a little bit more of analysis over here.
Yeah, I mean, Dusty is in the vision of. Oh my God, look at that. I'm just gonna...
Dusty going in with the Blade Surge as well. Takes out Savage Warrior this time, but also backside. Faden with the Feather Airstrike as well. That's gonna be a missed Shockwave Blast as well. But it seems like Skyzen just gonna be there trying to get 3 hits, but definitely 2 falling on the side of Peak. I'm a bit hurt, but I gotta give it to you once.
Yeah, you definitely have to give it to me. And look at that. Look at Skyzen. He, on the other hand, is just totally focused on that farming because that is
Oh
what.
no. Oh no. Oh no. There could be a falling for Skyzen, or is it gonna be the outplay that he needs?
Oh,
Still lives with the slitter. That is definitely on the side of Peak. Kind of, utilize and not actually kind of give a lot of gold to the side of Zohan.
wow. If that Grunge had one more Death Sonata, it would have been end for Sky. But then again, Sky, with that, his insane reflex and sidestep, manages to survive that insane sandwich that he was facing on the bot lane. And it seems like another turtle fight will be skirmishing here in the river area, and both sides of the team, they are marching their way down to the turtle, and they are possibly looking for another. Oh,
Clapping,
oh.
rotation coming in. Faden in the midst of it, trying to drop in all the thick of it. But this time it's going to be Dusty Mizo coming in with the Blaze Surge once again. But look at the smashing coming in from Yaipaba. Takes out the Pigeon Lady. And more is going to be happening as Dusty Mizo takes the skilling spree and a double just for his side of Zohan once again. Because that 2 falling will be pretty much a crucial, like a critical blow to the side of Peak, don't you think, Lance?
Yeah, definitely, because they lost a jungler there. So that is a pretty big blow that Peak took. And with that, it is going to be a free turtle for the side of Zohan. Zohan are on the momentum. They are building that pressure against Team Peak once again. But then again, if they don't maintain that discipline, we will see the same kind of a consequence in the
whoa,
my
Prime
God.
snipes him down, and Savage Warrior also traded out with a Faden over here, but Win is going to be the one to secure Savage once again. Prime want to go for that Rondo play, coming in with the Rhapsody, and also, is it going to be a Death Sonata? But Lemonade got the moves, but no, you don't have the moves to escape the beat of that Prime. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's just going to be another kill on the side. Actually, 2 kills on the side of Zohan once again. I am very much hurt now, once.
Whoa, wow. Peak, they are taking a really big, big hits from the side of Zohan. They're getting like what? They're getting a trade, and on the other hand, they're losing thrice of that. So that is a pretty big disadvantage that Peak are facing. And if you talk about the disadvantage, if you take a look at the goal, 8,000 goal, man. Peak are 8,000 goal in just like 7 minutes into the game. That is absolutely insane, man. That is gonna be a hard comeback that they have.
Pro Lady this time dropping in some nukes. That is definitely Savage Warrior falling. And also, it seems like Mr. Win here going a little bit too deep into the crevices of Peak. So he's going to get punished instantly. And the reason why... Oh, never mind. Yaipaba still trying to go for the 1v1 here. But it's going to be a backflip coming in from Dusty Mizo. And at the same time, Prime with the securing. Sky Piercer this time. He's just going to be dishing out damage left to right. Rhapsody being used towards the focus onto the Skyzen. And there goes Skyzen taking out Family Problem this time. But Faden also had to force out of the Feathered Airstrike. So I actually want to say Pigeon there because payback time. You know what I mean? Actually don't want to say Crow because it's payback time.
Yeah, so,
never mind.
Yeah, never mind that. So yeah, with that we see the third turtle of the game is here. And it is going to be evolving into the Lord because it has hit that 8 minute mark. And Zohan, on the other hand, they do not want to go look for the turtle, but then again, they want to look for those objectives. And in order to secure those objectives, they are looking for the Lord, and it is going to be a easy Lord on the side of Zohan. So now they have the Lord on the side, they have that push as well. But then again, Skyzen on the other hand, oh my god, look at the top lane, oh my lord.
Oh no, Aizen bites the dust this time once again into the safety of the tier 1, but I don't really think the safety, I should say, because he just gets obliterated on top. So no Centaur on the side of Peak once again. And this time it's going to be Savage Warrior eating a bit of a Sacred Hammer here. Rotation being used to kind of clap back to Family Problems. So that's going to be a save. And also a little bit of pressurization on the side of Zohan to give Savage Warrior the traumatization that he needs to kind of go back. So that's tier 2 being down. Also 450 stacks on that once. That's just crazy.
Yeah, that is just crazy. He is like on a 9 minute... Oh my god, just look at Baba.
Oh, that is the double! That Sonata and also the Feather Airstrike combo as well. But look at Lemonade there trying to take out Mr. Prime because he's been overly 4-0-2 too much. So that's a 4 1-5 on the side of Zohunt's Prime. Very much the bounty is definitely going to be counting on the side of Peak. So 7 kills on the side of Peak, 16 on the side of Zohan. Kind of like a different casting I'm doing here, but I hope you don't mind.
Oh yeah, definitely. And look at that Elemental Lord with that sweet push on the turret he's getting. But then again, look at the poke. That Faden is pulling over the far side. Oh boy. Oh.
Okay, Skyzen almost bit the dust of the Wrath of the Crow that's gonna be coming. Absolute in the Phoenix Blaze. But actually, that's a Phoenix, right? I'm pretty sure that's a Phoenix. Yeah,
that is a Phoenix. Oh, look at the diversion play coming up.
This might be the one that we need to look out. There goes the Unstoppable Force at the same time. Skyzen will be the one to take the kill this time. Woo! That is just crazy because Faden falls there, but Prime gives a shutdown on Skyzen and anticlimactic, and also Yaipaba trying to just go in for more. But this is going to be Prime here, the double trades, and also Yaipaba getting the kill. That's double trade, but 3 deaths on the side of Zohan this time. Do they want to go for more, or is it going to be Peak just averaging everything on their side because Dusty Mizo just comes back for more, but he's going to get chipped out here because staying for too long gets scratched by the Beast of Light, and also Family Problem shut down the Yaipaba because that is a very much Sacred Hammer being used on the side of Zohan just to make sure the tier 1 here just, finishing off.
Wow, I must say that diversion play coming off from the side of Peak, that was the most anticlimactic diversion there because they did get a lot of bounties from the head of Zohan. So that was a pretty good trade, I'd say, despite losing members, With those bounties, they are, getting that goal. And now if you take a look at the goal, it is just merely 2k goal difference. So they have caught up with Zohan. And if you take a look at the items, Iratel has 3 core items, has the Hasclaw, has the Berserker Fury, as well as the Malefic Gun. Will be dishing out a lot of damage as well as the movement speed provided from that Malefic Gun for that guiding ability, so it is gonna complement the Aethertail really well. On the other hand, if you take a look at Suyu, has the BOD, has the War Axe, as well as the Hunter Strike, so we'll be dishing a lot of damage as well.
Skyzen taking down Prime this time. Dusty Mizo gets the securing of the Retribution again. Win takes out Skyzen. Also, that's 2 deaths on the side of Zohan just like that. And with more, it seems like Savage Warrior trying to do a little bit of a clapback over here because Win here trying to use the Dark Force to kind of keep, pushing and pressurizing. And Aizen will bite the dust here maybe with another Dark Impact over here. But also, just the first skill is what Aizen needs to escape that situation. And with that being said,
look at Faden.
Oh, never mind. Oh, Faden using the Crow of... that was a close one. But here comes the Luminous Lord on the top side. So that is definitely good for my team to be peeking. But then again, it all comes down to the preference of what? Defending this Luminous Lord.
Man, I have to say that Zohan are kind of overextending a bit. Because the way they are just going in way too deep into Peak, it is just too risky, Oh, look at
That is the defense that we need to kind of push back Zohan over here. But Prime taking out Lemonade this time. No ejector on the side of Peak. That's going to close enough. That's comes the combo from Yaipaba. But Skyzen taking Faden. At the same time, Prime is going to be getting the double for him. 2 dubs for him, absolutely. But Luminous Lord taken down with the cost of an inhibitor on the side of Peak. Looking quite dire for Peak, but can they actually make it further than this? That's the question.
Man, it is gonna be tough because Prime, he is the Sun Jingwo of Team Zohan here. So he will be stacking on that Capriccio sooner or later. And as of now, he has, almost 600 stacks on the Grandeur in a 14-minute mark, I say. So it is gonna be hard for Peak, to tank the damage that will be coming off from that Grandeur alone, because he has the BOD, has the Malefic as well, has that Sky Piercer, and if we take a look at the Sky Piercer stack, oh my god, look at there!
Oh no, Aizen in trouble, lays down the golden path to escape that. But then again, it's very, very good for the side of Peak to not lose their Centaur, their only Centaur actually. So with that being said, keep repetitive, but like I just want to say that if Team Peak lost here, it's not going to be completely over because they are going to be facing against the DNS, the DNS. Okay, we're talking about that. So it's still a breather on the side of Peak, even they lost this, because they still have another, comeback, another chance, a second win. That is what we're going to be doing. So Zohunt here though, looking really strong actually. 22 kills on their side. They want to look for more lords, but they want to look out for the pickoffs as well. So
Yeah.
Lemonade not being caught there was very good. So what do you say, Juan?
Yeah, I mean, talking about the objective, just look at the turrets, on the side of Zohan. They are standing tall and strong. Only one turret from the side of Zohan has been taken down, which is from the bot. And on the other hand, Peak, though, they have like lost all the turrets. They have like, oh, look at the fight there. Oh my god.
Urgent play is going to be meant to escape him, but no, Savage Warrior bites the dust because Dusty is feeding him dust. And also Prime here coming in with a cleanup for Lemonade at the same time. Prime or Yaipaba here gets the double to Prime at the same time. Payton as well. But it seems like the smashing coming in from Win take him out. That's going to be Yaipaba down. So 3-3 trade on both sides with Skyden making the tree. And with that being said, Payton, the gold laner on the side of Zohan, is not available. So Skyzen is still there to kind of carry out the peak. But they don't actually have their jungle to kind of contest this, but Aizen is doing his best to lay down the carpets over here. Maybe trying his best to kind of steal it, but it seems like Win gets him occupied because the smashing gonna be coming. There comes the Golden Lace, but absolutely Dusty Mizo never gonna risk the retreat standard over here. But Skyzen, here comes Peak here. Go clashing down on Zohan and also Win finally falling this time, but Faden with the shutdown. That is quite the trade that Zohan needs to take out Faden and go straight for the pushing here. This is dire for P because once they don't have that gold laner to defend this.
They definitely needed Skyzen for that defense because Skyzen was the one causing a lot of... Oh my god, look at Win!
Oh, look at that Yaipaba there, but he's gonna fall because there is no support coming in. That Lord also is just gonna give free smacking to the crystal here, but Lemonade trying to do his best to buy time, but it's not enough, ladies and gentlemen. This is the fall of Peak to Plummet, it seems, but look at Aizen is in the dire hopes of just protecting it, but it could be possible once again. Skyzen is back. He's locking in with a heavy crossbow, dishing out a little bit of a crossbow to the bot side as well to get that AoE to clear out the lanes. And also look at Faden coming here, just trying to snipe out Skyzen, but this time the final bussin misses, but still.
Oh, look at that, the crystal lock.
Zofade, arise.
Damn, they have totally risen from their depths. With that, guys, it is gonna be Zohan for tonight. Who is gonna be the winner against Speak to Plummet? They have managed to pull off a win against Speak to Plummet. It is gonna be a 2-1 against Zohan and Peak to Plummet. And with that, we see that, here on the conclusion, we see that the MVP from the side of Zohan is none other than Win. On that Phoveus, he has, dealt a lot of damage, I'd say, despite being a tank. He's always, with that zoning, with the Infernal Pursuit, as well as the energy blast there. So he has provided, space for Prime, to shine with his Rhapsody. And man, it is just way too much for Skyzen to handle that Farsa on Faden. Man, Faden, despite, despite it being a Irritel, a kiting hero, the way he was aiming those Fed airstrike, he was nuking down Skyzen. That is just absolutely crazy because that is not we usually see, right, with an Irritel. Irritel has the ability, to sidestep those Fed airstrike from the Farsa. But then again, Faden just proves it that his aiming skills are way more better than those sidestep. And with that, it is going to be a win for the side of Zohan. What do you have to say, Bolty?
The only thing I have to say now once is I lost the wager. So congratulations. I'm still gonna be not a sole loser. Instead, I'm gonna congratulate you. Thank you. Thank you once. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be the end for the one of the best clashes over here. The Zoe and the Peaks. Once again, not as very much top of the peak like Tartarus versus DNS, but I'm feeling sure we're still getting that climaxing that we can dish it out. But ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna be me and Juan's here.
Oh well, Bolty.
Wait, what? What's going on?
Yeah,
What's going on?
before we head off, and sign off from here. I just got a intel from the management team.
Intel.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's like really late at night, so it seems like the DNS and peak to plummet game that is gonna happen. The lower brackets
Yes, sir.
team that will be facing off against each other will be scheduled for tomorrow, because as of now, even the players are kind of tired and it is late, so they will
True.
need that 8 hours of sleep, right? So they will be needing to charge up and prepare for tomorrow as well. So with that, it is going to be a night for tonight, and we will be seeing you guys tonight. And with that, it is me and Balti signing off. Good night.
Peace out, guys. Love y'all.
Hello players, are you from Northeast? If yes, we have a very exciting news for you.
Wardrum Games is hosting the Northeast Underdog Tournament, where the top invited teams are going to be playing against the biggest underdogs. And the best part,
guys, is the tournament format. Why? Because it's starting in a separate bracket and you get to fight with only the underdogs all the way to the finals.
by participating in this tournament, you have the chance to win a share of the prize pool, which is 60,000 Indian rupees. So what are you waiting for, guys? Go and register ASAP, because the slots are filling up really fast and you're gonna run out of slot if you don't register ASAP.
For registration, you can check the link in the description
of the Instagram bio of Wardrum Games. So do follow them, and yeah, see you in the tournament, and I will be casting too.